Oh man,
You right if I told up?
man, fire that up, man. Fire that up. Fire that up.
You know I came prepared, brother. Thank you, man. Oh, ye son, thank you, brother.
No, listen. I don't even know. I've been doing interviews like as long as like Blue and Red Pill been doing interviews. We all started at the same time, right? And I done interviewed some heavy hitters, but I'm a new Cambatta fan because I'm an old head. So, you know, as far as hip hop, I'm with KRS. I've interviewed KRS several times. And so normally I'm from the press play, hold it, got to rewind that verse. I got to rewind that bar. Whereas now people like let something play.
Yeah.
They make a whole decision, just ran it one time. But me, I'm loyal. To me, hip hop's mean loyalty, right? So your people's okay. My man the other day was like, yo, you need to listen to Cambatta. I said, Cambatta? He said, yeah, he was rocking with Hank Rising's son. I said, I know Hank Rising's son. I said, me and Kilindi been on Hank's show. He was like, go watch the video. So I'm coming from Detroit watching the video, and I'm like, oh, he done hit the toe. And then
I do that shit live in the music video. That's the first time that's been done live in a video like that.
So this is my problem, and we're going to fix it today. I want to apologize for all the people who've been interviewing you who ain't messing with the toad, the DMT, the mushrooms, and they scared. I ain't scared. Let me just be really clear. We're not doing that today. So now you got a hip-hop head who's also a psychonaut because you are a psychonaut. Yeah. You are a psychonaut. You official tissue, right?
Oh, yeah, man.
So we want to just apologize from the psychonaut hip-hop community to the halfway hip-hop community because without psychonauts, there wouldn't be no hip-hop community.
But there would be no art community.
There'll be no Van Gogh. There'll be no billionaires.
Nope. There'll be no iPhone. There'll be no video games.
So we can stop the video right here. We can stop the whole interview. We done said what we had to say, but we're gonna keep going. Look, Jokers is talking about I'm gonna hit you up for the mushrooms. I ain't scared. Okay. So don't be scared. We're gonna see what's going on by the end. So my name is O.E. Son, Team Taurus, Atlanta, Georgia. This is my man. I just met him, but I'm a fan. I'm gonna let him know I'm a fan before it's over. Cambatta, please introduce yourself, including your zodiac sign and what city and state you represent.
Yeah. First, peace, honor, respect, thanks, gratitude to O.E. Son for having me on the channel today. Thank you for everybody tuning in live. Thank you for everybody on this plane and everybody on the next plane or the plane before it. I go by the name of Cambatta. I'm a metaphysicist. I'm a rapper, lyricist, MC, songwriter, and definitely a psychonaut. I would say I'm a late bloomer. I started smoking marijuana when I was 23.
Okay.
After I already kind of fortified my mind. And then after marijuana, it was just like, bam, I was like, oh, this does this. So next thing was, of course, mushrooms, DMT, LSD, peyote, mescaline, Blue Lotus, Hawaiian baby, wood rose, whatever you want to do. I've been to the moon and back. I'm thankful to still have my consciousness. I mean, a lot of people don't understand how serious and real these things are, man. It's not getting high for sure. It's raising your vibration into a vibration that allows you to correspond and communicate with nature in a much higher ability. And even a lot of the people running around here claiming to know about the powers of the mystical magic, a lot of them don't get it. I say maybe a couple out of 100 people will have a real transcendental divine experience. And I'm definitely one of those people who can attest that God and the universal, the higher powers have equipped us with some real super foods, to say the least.
Let me ask you a question. We get ready to get 100, you know what I'm saying? Why is it that so many hip hop artists who do dabble with the entheogens don't want to put it in their music. They're going to that place where you're going. Mm-hmm. They're getting it, but they're not telling you where they got their new kicks. Where you come back, like in LSD and DMT, which I'm going to mention a lot. I want to mention those two songs a lot today. In LSD and DMT, it's like you went there, got it, came back, but you were holding it, pointing to where you came from. Mm-hmm. Please talk to me about why you think some artists are not mentioning the source, and then why do you make it a point that you remind us that I'm a psychonaut?
Yeah, so first of all, I guess in mainstream media and just the contemporary times, the paradigm, the social paradigm on a surface level is not prepared for psychedelics. They never were, and they probably never will be, and they probably never shouldn't be. So when you say things like acid and shrooms and DMT, especially when it has like some kind of chemical acronym, it sounds like drugs. It sounds no different than crack and heroin and meth. And especially in the Black community, it's really frowned down upon because of the crack epidemic. Like, it's almost like anything that sounds like a drug besides weed, smoking a blunt or something with your boys. Other than that, it sounds like you're a crackpot, as they would say. Like, so it's, number one, it's embarrassing. Number two, a lot of the people that, shout out to Charles Woody, thank you, brother. A lot of the people that interact with psilocybin or LSD, they don't get the full experience. So they might get traumatized, or they might get a surface level, you know, shits and giggles type of experience. So either you're having a really, really bad trip that, you know, you might have ended up in the streets naked and, you know, you couldn't face your demons, so you were running from them, or you didn't get it. You just saw some dancing elephants in the corner of the room or something, and the ancestors didn't speak to you. And then there's those that the ancestors do speak to, and they do have the predisposed language or linguistic set to translate what the ancestors are giving them, and they're stingy with it. They don't want to tell you, you know, they're covering up their tracks. They know where to find the gold. They know where the X is on the map, but they're hiding the map and they're covering their tracks because they don't want other artists to understand what's going on. Peace, Didi. Thank you. Peace, Latifah. They don't want people to know where they got their artifacts, you know, so they keep it on the hush. So there's a couple characters out there, but I say a lot of people, they do it to say they do it, and that's it. It is not. This shit is not for the faint of hearts. We talking about Mike Tyson. We talking about Titans on Earth physically. This will turn you to a baby. These psychedelics, I don't care how hard the gangsters is, how many guns you got, how many bodies you got. This is more, if you have a true profound experience on psychedelics, it's more, I would say, impactful than an alien visitation. It's more impactful than, it's just as impactful as getting, you know, sexually molested or raped, in a sense, because there's no words, there's no movie, there's nothing that can prepare you for what's behind that veil. And it doesn't matter how many times you do it. I've been experimenting with psychedelics since 2011, right before 2012. And every time I go, I'm shaking in fear. I'm nervous. I'm pacing. Every time I've tripped at least hundreds of times. I've done DMT. I've been there. And just recently, I just had my 33rd transition, or rotation.
Tap around the sun, I call it.
Yeah, yes. On the day I released LSD, and so the weekend, the days prior to that, I did a heroic dose of mushrooms. I started off on Friday. I did LSD, which is a chemical compound, so I don't really suggest that to people. But then on the next day, I did a heroic dose of psilocybin, Golden Teachers. Then the next day, I did a 3-grammer just so I could get the performance. But I lost my mind. It was to the point where I didn't know who I was. I really, really got pulled out of this experience. And I think unless you have those experiences, you're not going to be able to really get into those people who are skittish about it. They don't want to, I just want to, microdosing is cool after you've had an experience and you know what you're doing. But other than that, man, like when them ancestors show themselves to you in the Men in Black movie, when they got that forgetting thing, those ancestors only let you come back with certain things. Sometimes you get some demons that'll alley-oop you some ideas, but they want their payback. So a lot of these artists, they are think that they're super great and they're super geniuses. They're getting that. They're getting those downloads and they're making a decision to make money off of it. And then them demons come back and claim it. So a lot of them can't talk about it. A lot of them can't because they know it's going to shatter their look. Like if we knew that Steve Jobs was just blasting off LSD and DMT and just, getting the elves to alley-oop him messages, he wouldn't seem like he was so godly.
Right.
But I know it's not me. I know I'm a conduit of God. I'm a tool. So, there's a lot of answers to why rappers don't talk about this, why artists don't talk about it at all. But mostly it's because of the stigma behind drugs. They don't want to lose their, sponsorships. Dude, I don't give a damn, dude. I will literally go into the room and bring some shrooms on and put that joint in my shirt, wear it in my bustier.
All facts. Do you recognize this brother right here?
It's Kilindi, right?
Wait a minute. So you just telling me you are traveling the world, rapping, rubbing shoulders with the big boys. And as soon as you saw this picture, you knew who it was immediately. His name is not even on there. And you was like, that's Baba Kilindi.
Yes, of course, man. Like, I remember he was the first dude I seen that said that he did a 30-gram mushroom dose. And I'm like, whoa. 30 grams? I can't eat 30 grams of any food, period. But to do that, I had to dig deeper and figure out who this man was. He was so unapologetic. He was so straightforward. He knew. And there's so many people in this conscious realm that'll tell you things like you don't need plants, you don't need fungus, you don't need shrooms, you don't need DMT to experience a divine revelation. And this is true. This is very true. However, human beings, we need water when we're thirsty, right?
Talk about it.
We need fruit. We need fruit for sustenance. We need vegetables and fruits, and we need earth and, for sustenance. We need air to breathe. When you're looking so we have the physical, we have the mental that's already being sustained. What about the spiritual aspect? What on this planet is going to feed your spirit? What on this planet can you combine with? Because it's about losing yourself. Just like a man has to surrender to the woman, and a woman in a sense have to submit to the man, we have to submit to Mother Earth and allow her power to guide us. And combining with this stuff is that's what we're here to do, to discover. And he was the first man that looked like this, a black man that I really seen that was talking about it. Because prior to that, it was Terrence. It was a lot of white dudes, a lot of the guys like Terrence McKenna, who I love. I got a lot of love for Terrence McKenna. But when I saw him, I was like, yes, we got somebody. Because the other, like Phil Valentine and Bobby Hemmett, as amazing as they are, they didn't really go into the psychoactives. They kind of glanced on it. He went into it.
Right.
Yes, peace to the God, man. And I'm not even gonna say R.I.P. or because he knows and we know that what's going on here. He just flipped the page. He's good. He's better than we are right now. So he's actually praying for us. He's like, yo, bro, god damn. Y'all niggas got some shit. So damn, man.
Wow. Okay, so man, okay, I knew this was gonna happen. I knew we was gonna get the flow. And so I got introduced to Baba Kilindi through the martial arts, but I was in North Carolina studying, but his technique had made it to North Carolina to my teacher. And so I met the technique before I met the teacher. And then it took me like 10 years to meet the teacher, but I still wasn't messing with no shrooms. I had just quit smoking weed, and then I'm just into this style of martial arts that he has to go along with the other things that I was studying. And then when I met him 10 years later, it was on the telephone. I'm just talking to him about martial arts, and he's just sitting there listening. And I ain't say nothing about shrooms. And then maybe 2 years later, so now we're at 12 years. I'm 48 years old, which was 2018, go in on 5 grams of mushrooms. Soon as I get back, my man is like, yo, we gotta grow. He said, because it's gonna get expensive, because you gotta get to high dose like Kilindi. And I was like, where do I know that name? And so I find Kilindi again, and come to find out he got a grow video on how to grow your own. And he was like $40. I was like, $40? And I'm a historian, so my degree is in professional history.
Wow.
I did a video. I learned to grow my own mushrooms. I still ain't never met him yet. Then I go to Detroit and meet him firsthand, and my life just take off like this. So the next 1 year later, he has the toad with Dr. Jerry, who gave it to Mike Tyson at his crib in the basement. And so I go, and he's like, what's up, you going in with the toad? So I was like, all right, I'm going. Now, trust me, the toad was way more terrifying than the mushrooms. But I also will say, when the toad finished with you, it laid down like a baby, way like just a gentle baby, and it lets you, like, you'll be awake. Whereas the mushrooms, when the mushrooms lay you down, you kind of like drift off into dreamland. But the toad is like so much more intense. And I had seen the Mike Tyson videos, and then I ended up rocking with Dr. Jerry that year and going into 147 ceremonies with him with the 5-MeO DMT. Now, I've only done DMT twice. 5-MeO twice, but I've held space for people in over 140 ceremonies, right? And this is not at the play dose either, like Kilindi would say. This is 100 milligrams of DMT. Most people, you get like 20 milligrams or 30 milligrams, but what Mike Tyson had, if you see Jerry or you see me, you getting the Mike Tyson dose, which is 100 milligrams.
The knockout dose.
The humble dose. You know what I'm saying? You like
the Buster Douglas. Ba-boom-boom!
The Buster Douglas. You're right. Not the Mike Tyson, but the Buster Douglas. You're right. And so I think it's really important what you were just saying about set and setting is not something for people just to go out there and play with. And one of Baba Kilindi's things was the reason we're doing this conference is because we have a psychedelic conference, which will be the 4th psychedelic conference in Detroit. And in January, he was like, we're doing this conference. Then he passed in April, and I was like, yo, I want to help. So that's how we got here. But you see the title, Entheogens in an Urban Environment, a journey to the mysteries. So every song that I've heard, you represent both of those. First off, you urban. I turn to urban in the dictionary, there go Cambatta, relaxing. Then I look at Journey into the Mysteries. I can close my eyes and press play, and you're going to take us into these mysteries. And that's why I was like, yo, when my man was telling me about you with Brother Hank, I was like, well, I don't know how to get in contact with him. But Baba Kilindi used to say, leave room for the universe to help. So I did a video with Dakota, and Phoenix seen the video on Dakota's channel and then was like, yo, here's our artist. But I was looking for you 2 weeks ago.
Wow, yeah.
You 2 weeks ago, and then Phoenix emailed me day before yesterday.
I mean, that's how it works, man. Like I said, we just passengers. This is a roller coaster ride that gives us a fake little steering wheel that gives us the, we observe, we make small decisions along the way.
Right.
Like the fate is sealed, man. Everything happens in divine time, and if you let God, it's like birds and deers. They're born with all the programming they need to hunt and survive. It's like human beings, we get in the way of our natural ability to basically be symbiotic with the nature, with space, with the ether. And I think that when it comes to how important this is in entheogens in urban environments, I mean, where our people dominate, our people are mostly in urban environments. We don't have a lot of people that have, you know, large plots of land with shroom patches and, or they're on a beach and the beach. We got some, but a lot of us that need the medicine the most are the ones in the urban. And I would say that I'm somebody who entered the experience almost violently. So I know what it's like to getting up by ambulance,
So let's talk about let's talk about your evolution in the entheogenic space and how you, because when you was on Sway and they was like, yo, somebody said he was the greatest. You are in the now, in the now, like right now, because of really you the greatest, because Baba Kilindi said you ain't no sorcery unless you're talking about entheogens. You're a sorcerer. So the other ones are scared to say they are sorcerers. So for right now, you the greatest. Now,
appreciate that.
No, you don't have the body of work Jay-Z got. No, that's okay. But Jay-Z has never told me 22 different ways that what LSD stands for. Jay-Z has never told me I shouldn't be afraid of DMT. This is what DMT stands for. Jay-Z has never taken his God MC because he knows the lessons, but he ain't never crossed them over into the mysteries like we are now. Hove gave us, the blueprint to take your hustle money and like stop being broke. We good. But now, like Kilindi said, we got to have a Cambatta who's been there. This is I'm giving you all your flowers today.
Thank you.
I guess with you too. It's a video. I can't find it right now because it'll take me too much time. So Baba was about grow your own mushrooms. And he was about riding on these white boys or these people with doctorates who were subscribing something and they hadn't taken it themselves. So now here you are saying, yo, I already did LSD. You might need it. I don't think it's for you. Blah, 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 blah. But I would listen to you because you're urban. You know what it did to you. You know what not to do too with LSD. You know what not to do. You know what not to do. And then you can be like, well, that's not safe, but you're about to try. So that means you got wisdom. And that's what separates you. You know what I'm saying? And then you got the heart to follow the instructions that they gave you, whether it was the ancestors, whether it was the mushrooms, whether it was the DMT, whether it was the aliens. I call them the they. So for those who have not done mushrooms yet, when you come back, one thing that you'll be talking about the next morning, you just be sitting there, Cambatta, be like, so how'd it go last night? And then you'll say, they this and they that and they this and they that, and he won't ask you who they was because he know that you can't describe who they was, but it was they that was talking to you, and you should listen to what they told you too. When you get back here and don't do what they told you to do, they not like your mama or somebody where you can just be like, man, I ain't thinking about Cambatta. I don't really got to do what he told me to do. When they tell you do something from over there, you better do it.
Yeah.
Or try. At least try. You know what I'm saying? Because it could get faded faster than what you imagined. And that's what I feel it really called bad trips is when people come in without proper setting. And I think that's why it's important for us us older cats, urban hip hop, we have to get the word to the streets to be like, don't play with this. This can make your dreams come true, but you better not ever think about abusing it. This is not something that you can get away with. You know what I'm saying?
No.
So speak on that for a second about setting and how important it is for us knowing what we know to share that versus somebody else who's like, well, clinically the formula says such and such, and then Baba Clinton be like, well, how much have you taken? Well, you know, I've microdosed. Well,
Mm.
I've taken 40 grams, and by the way, he did do his 50-gram dose before he passed.
Mm.
So we're talking about a demigod. I just
Yeah.
want to let you know that. You know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna basically give you a small challenge, and maybe the next album I want to hear Kilindi name. I want to see how you weave that name.
Oh, it's already started. The schemes have already appeared in my dreams. So
What?
you know, oh yeah. We're hearing old music. You know, I'm already like I'm itching to show people what I've been doing in new form. But first off, I gratitude, and I'm very gracious for you honoring me with that praise, man. That means the world to me. I've been working so hard since I was a young kid, man. You know, I saw the magic in hip hop, linguistically, mathematically, pattern wise. I didn't enter this for attention and fame or to get the most girls or get the shiniest chain. I got attracted to it because of drugs, because I was born in a drug infested environment,
right?
And I needed an escape. But something about my wiring, and I guess I was just blessed to have an extremely curious mind and ability to connect very obscure abstractions, just naturally. Maybe I think definitely on the spectrum of autistic schizophrenic realms, light, and I just can navigate it on this side of the plane, and I think that also gives credence to why my mind is so I guess sensitive to psychedelics as well. I would probably be somebody who's classified as I shouldn't take psychedelics. Like you wouldn't give somebody who has manic depressive or bipolar tendencies extreme psychedelics. But in my case, I kind of entered it violently. I didn't have much preparation. I didn't know about set and setting. I just knew about magic, and that's all I all I was really looking for. I mean, since I went into rap, and this is to go back to your comment about me being great in what I do, is I took the intentional purpose in being somebody that has the best multisyllabic rhyme patterns. It was the science of rap that attracted me to it. So when I got into psychedelics, it was after getting into marijuana. And the reason why I got into marijuana was to stabilize focus, and because I was just having, throughout my life, I didn't realize that I had a problem focusing. So I developed my rap only writing once in a while whenever I could trick myself into sitting down. I never did homework, never studied, completely undisciplined, no sense of responsibility, very, very lazy. Still am. I would say that I'm not even a disciplined hard worker. I'm somebody that's extremely passionate, and I'm willing to die to become great. So that really just falls in line with my lifestyle and my personal routine and religion and personal life philosophy, which includes psychedelics. And to get into what you're saying about set and setting, I guess my wisdom is valuable because of my history with psychedelics. My first and second trip were both heroic, but walking around a neighborhood. It's like do 5 grams of like the most potent mushrooms, because not all mushrooms are created alike.
Right,
do 5 grams of some light. That's why 5 grams is the rule of thumb, because really you're trying to find a balance where there's enough active psilocybin, and 5 grams is a safe zone. Really, you only need probably a gram or two of really potent psilocybin to get you there, but you do 5 because this shroom might have more than this shroom. So you got to do enough to get enough, because you're trying to get your body, like the fungus has a parasitical relationship with your body because it breathes oxygen. So it doesn't have this beautiful body and instrument that we use to express and communicate, but they're conscious, they're alive, and they breathe oxygen. And
they make themselves available to us, not just to give us knowledge, but they're also using our body as a vessel. They want this life. They want this oxygen. So when you're taking them in, you got to realize that, number one. So right off rip, I always do mantras. I bless them. I ask them. I beg them. I pray to them. I cry with them. Whatever I got to do to make sure that everything's comfortable, phone off. You know, I got to have 12 hours of space at least, because I've done it in the streets and ended up lost, like around the corner, walking in the houses that wasn't mine. I ended up in the hospital, pulling IVs out my arm like the Incredible Hulk. I lifted up. That's how strong you get on psilocybin. I've lost my mind. I've absolutely, passed out. Every bad experience you could have, and I've had every good experience you could have. So it's like I've done it, and it continues to be profound every single time. And it's like, I guess the allure to go in there, because a lot of times I go and I'm asking for mercy. I get there and I'm like, oh, I asked for the secret keys, and I didn't realize how much download it was. Every time it's like, okay, like God makes you know. It's like a big brother or something, like almost punches you in the chest to check you. And every time it's me getting stronger and stronger and more aware in that setting to come back with as much as possible. But I realize that if I'm gonna come back with these gifts and these extrapolations that I pull down and I download and that I receive, then I have to do it in a divine, righteous way. That's why the gospel is only sung in praise of God. That's why in a lot of the Islamic, I guess mosques, instead of singing, it's always prayer. They don't just sing, to talk about a thong song. They sing, and it's always giving praise to God. And I guess I've always made sure my music was cloaked in God, so that way I'm not receiving these beautiful gifts in vain. Essentially, like a lot of these rappers don't really want to be associated with sounding too gospel-y or preachy. Or I just found a really cool way to counterbalance it and make it sound like bars. Still punching its knowledge. It makes you think it's balanced. So I don't rap to sound good or bad. Like I wouldn't consider myself good or evil. I'm a very neutral being, and I accept both. I accept that I have way more flaws than I have, gifts. But I put that in my music. But yeah, I would say I'm kind of bouncing all over the place. But set and setting is extremely. It's the most important thing. Everywhere that you do it is different. I've done it in Joshua Tree. I've done it in Mount Shasta. It was extremely. I did it in I did 5 grams of penis envies while I was on LSD, which was not. Ooh. I mean, that's brutal, right? Ooh. While I was on LSD, I did 5 grams.
How many tabs of LSD?
It was I don't know, because it was a tab, but it was extremely powerful. And I was in where was Katrina?
Louisiana, New Orleans.
Yeah. I was like, we were on Bourbon Street.
No. We
were at the house. We were back at the house at like 1 a.m. I just knew after everyone fall asleep, I got in the form. I was like, boom, everybody sleep now. I was like, all right, I'm out here. I'm in Louisiana. What is the name of the place? I'm sorry, it's
Mardi Gras.
What's the place that happens in though?
Bourbon Street, New Orleans.
New Orleans, okay, New Orleans, yes. So I'm in New Orleans, literally. All my boys are there. We have an Airbnb. It's 2014, April 4th. It was a Saturday, and it was like the brightest blood moon ever. And I have 5 grams of penis envies, and I was already on LSD. And I just did my ritual, you know what I mean? Which includes, you got to go to the toilet, you got to do all of this stuff. I went to the backyard and I went into mode, and all of a sudden I transformed, and it was, I ended up passing out. I had a seizure. It was, I saw myself die. I got downloads, but I would say like I wouldn't suggest anybody to do that. You know what I mean? Like it was very scary for everyone around me. You know, you don't want to put your people through that. Like people were scared. Like I'm like, can you please come outside, look at the moon? And they're like, yo, Cam, you all right? And I'm like, yeah. I'm like, who's Cam? I'm like, yeah, I'm just I'm out of there, but I'm on another level, like completely psychic, completely telepathic, you know, mathematically precise. I mean, every step I can take in reverse, complete stamina, complete clarity, like almost a super biological weapon when you're in that mode. But I would say, yeah, like I get excited. Like you probably see my face just changed, everything changed. Because when you think about those trips, it comes right back. It comes right back. And when I'm on it, oh my God, instantly, you lose weight, you become like muscular, vascular. But this is after the trip though. You know what I mean? I'm like, oh.
When's your birthday? When's your birthday?
July 21st. I'm a Cancer. July 21st. I was 7:15 a.m. New Haven, Connecticut.
So 87, right?
1987, yeah. So I just had my 33rd transition in the year 2020. Come on. Year of COVID, year of Kobe. Come on, man. Come on, man. Just connections, dude. It gets scary. You start seeing all the synchronicities. When you start connecting synchronicities, the only questions are either I'm about to die or I'm about to find a bag of money somewhere.
Or you're about to go ahead and hit that right there. I got so much. Ooh. So this is my particular thing. I want my audience and your audience to take away from what the brother just told you. Numero uno is his experience is his experience. Even if you were to try the same combination in New Orleans with your boys, the same thing might not happen to you. That's his experience. But number two is what you listening to is the C word, courage. See, the C in Cambatta stand for courage. You can't be a psychonaut without courage. He's the courageous Cancer. You see what I'm saying? He the courageous Cancer who's the psychonaut. He gets all into his feelings. He's in his feelings because he's a Cancer, right? And he's also a manifesting generator. I done already pull your chart up over here. I'm into human. I do human design as well, and so I wanted to see what your math was looking like. You know what I'm saying? So this is
damn.
Oh, it's not a game out here, brother. We have so much to talk about. We cannot. I'm just teasing you right now, but I can't really get into it like too heavy. Like it makes sense to me. Like the way you just write rhymes. It would take me a second to come up with, a whole joint. But like I look at this like you look at a pen and a pad, and I'm just like, oh, like your willpower and all this other stuff that you got going on, like right, like this is willpower. So only 20%. Okay, let me just break it down. I got to get a brother something. This is called human design. It combines astrology, the I Ching, and a 9 chakra system. This is what it really looks like this. This is what you really look like. So the Entheogens, I've been a professional astrologist since 2008, and then I've been messing with astrology since 2002. So the toad, the LSD, the 15 grams of mushrooms has all expanded what I know by moving through, what I'm the most familiar with. Like I tell my story through birthdays where you tell yours through the pen. You feel what I'm saying? So in the center, only instead of 7 chakras, we now have 9 chakras. We're using old information because the body is always evolving. We was at a time when the human body only had 3 chakras. Now we have 9. But the ego is this red box right here, the heart. And only 20% of human beings have a defined ego. So what I learned, or what they told me on several trips is, it's not the ego that needs to die. It's the mind. The mind blames the ego, but when you come back, you're looking for your old mind, which is normally, excuse my French, on some fuck shit. Your ego's never on some fuck shit, Cambatta, but your mind will put things up there that you have no business thinking about whatsoever. My man Jim Rohn said, don't sign up for that class. What if I don't wear a mask? What if I don't? What if I get diarrhea? What if the plane turns sideways in the air and runs into a building? That's a person who has really lost their mind. But you must lose your mind in order to regain your center, the sacral and sacred. You gotta you gotta really know where you're going and move from the gut, because we have more nerve endings in our abdominal than we do in our mind. But the mind is so tricky, it blames everything on the ego. But if only 20% of the people in the world have egos, that means only 20% of psychonauts have egos. So if I don't have a defined ego, I can't have an ego death, which is what the mind is playing tricks on you. Now, the reason, and how it was also explained was 5 grams is like, so we're gonna do it right here with Cambatta. So you from New Haven, right? So I come to you when I say, Cam, I'm gonna get my paycheck tomorrow on Friday. We're gonna go to Miami. You drive and I'll put the gas in the whip. You cool with that? All right. So tomorrow I meet you at the gas station. Now you got the stuff in the back, and I go put the gas in, and you see me put $5 worth of gas in the car. And you have in Connecticut, and we're supposed to be going to Miami.
Yeah.
What are you gonna tell me?
That you're not balancing out the agreement here. You're not playing.
No. Now give me the street version. You're gonna say, nigga, we're not going anywhere.
Yeah.
Bruh, nigga, God body, whatever, we're not getting to Miami. That was only $5. Okay. You're gonna need more gas in the tank. So only putting $5 in the gas tank is the equivalent to microdosing. You can get around town. He may show me around New Haven. Look over there. Look over there. Look over there. Well, can we cross the bridge into New York? Because you only put $5 worth of gas in here. But if you fill the tank up, now we're gonna leave on the way to Miami.
Yes.
We have to stop in DC and get some more gas, and then we may stop again in North Carolina, and then we're probably gonna stop again in Georgia. But you got to fill the tank up to get somewhere, and there's a threshold because you were born with DMT in your body. But when you're not on any type of entheogens, and the root word of entheogen is theos, which means God. You're going to see God on an entheogenic experience, right? And so if you don't put enough gas in, then you won't break through the normal level that they're reinforcing every day. CNN, Fox, Donald Trump, all this stuff is only here to reinforce this damn glass ceiling so you won't break through. As soon as you go 5 grams, 7 grams, 9 grams, LSD, DMT, toad, then you'll break through that. But if you don't have enough gas, then you're going to be doing it the long way. So it's not a shortcut, because God made it all. God gave us meditation, and God gave us medicine. But Baba Kilindi used to always say the mushrooms are technology. They're technology, because you can just take that and go straight in. And so, like, when I hear you, I don't know what you're on. I'm just like, yo, I mean, like, did you do the video too? Or did you give the video dude 3.5 grams? Or I'm just like, yo, he captured it perfectly. But you have to put enough gas in the car to get outside of this containment, this 3-dimensional illusionary containment that we're in. So microdosing will get you, you can smooth around, and there's their microdosing in Silicon Valley and things. I microdose. I got some nice. I'm mixing a Tamarian blue with cordyceps and lion's mane. Got that combination from my man Tellus down here in Atlanta. Nice. I mean, gets me crisp. Ooh. And I'm doing that like, oh man, brother, I got formulas for you. But
baby.
But it won't take you. Those microdoses won't take me to the place of what we call Disneyland, where you're going to be in there for 6 hours.
Yeah.
You might get you a nice little hour and a half ride, something like that. But then you ain't going to really, also, you're not going to the rooftop. You got to have gas to go to the rooftop.
Yeah, yeah, like in Willy Wonka. Oh, there's only one button, Charlie. Press it. It's all yours. And they go through. And he's like, Wonka, if we go, the roof is made of glass. We'll be cut to ribbons. And he's like, we gotta generate enough force to get through. And then they bust through, and he's like, it's all yours, Charlie. The factory, the chocolate, it's yours. And yes, bring your family, Charlie. But yeah, you can't be shy with this. I mean, one of the confusing things that I have about life is our desperate, and like we have this we have a constant urge to refuel ourselves. It's like a second doesn't go by that we don't need oxygen. So we're constantly need to ingest oxygen. Second comes water. You know, you can only last, 3 or 4 days without water. And then you have physical sustenance, you know, fruits, vegetables, you know, whatever you eat. And you can go, you know, there's people that have fasted. There's breatharians that have gone 2 years without eating. So you could really, you know, I guess, discipline yourself to get to a long time without food. But my problem with all of that is, number one, I mean, we can argue that oxygen or whatever we call what we breathe in may be the most powerful psychedelic there's ever been.
Wow.
Because it's like we have to constantly breathe in this oxygen, and that's what is, I guess, formulating the visual experience we're having here in this three-dimensional reality. And then when you go to sleep and your breathing changes is when you experience your dream realm, which is not as tangible as this, but you're also not having as much oxygen. And that oxygen also correlates and corresponds to the mushroom, because the mushroom, again, it breathes oxygen. It's a fungus, and it uses our body as a host for more oxygen. And in exchange, your brain, your neurons actually can connect with their network, which the mycelium network is much older and much more vast and collected than the human is. And then that's why you can see plants breathing. That's why you're downloading. You can hug a tree and get its geometric formation in your mind, and you know his name. And you could go into a bundle of bamboo in the winds, and you can hear them talking. And then you can look at a tree and see the branches moving, and then realize there's no wind. And then realize that we think that that's wind, but that's them communicating. And then you're like, wait, that breeze, is that the trees or is that wind? And I'm like, oh, but yeah, no. You're not gonna get that if you're shy. And it comes back to courage. Here's how I break it down. This is the one piece of advice I give people. I say, in order for you to have a full experience on whether it be mushrooms or DMT, specifically those two, LSD to me is like it's more of a cognitive enhancer in a sense. But I would say mushrooms, peyote, mescaline, DMT, which all are very connected to DMT, 1 or 2 molecules away. In order for you to get a full experience, you have to voluntarily drown. It's imagine going into water and breathing in calmly and allowing yourself to drown. And once you can do that on any experience, whether it be weed, meditation, and you can completely submit and surrender as if you were willingly dying, that's when you can really connect, because it is, your body is going to naturally be tense when you go into this experience. No matter how experienced the shaman is, they know that every time it's an exercise, and the most skilled are the ones who can go into it and be completely free. That's why shaman looks like she-man, right? A lot of the especially in the South American shamanistic, I guess, cults, occultist mystics, they would shift between male and female.
So their body was just a clear containment system, and it wasn't a sexual thing. It was because they knew that in order for them to be a complete shaman, they had to embody both the physical. They had to be able to, I guess, be possessed or contain or embody both the physical and male spirit freely. And I mean, it's you gotta go deep. You gotta go deep, and you have to be completely free to die. You have to willingly die in order. You just gotta trust that your body is gonna hold on.
Teacher, I got a question. Teacher in the front row. Me. Can I ask my question, teacher?
Of course, brother.
Man, boy, the ancestors up in here right now.
That's it, man.
We the ancestors' wildest dreams. Everybody in the chat room, type that right now. I am my ancestors' wildest dreams. Cambatta's great grandmother, they had no idea he was gonna come on here and flip it today. And my great grandmother, if she was watching this, she'll be like, I never dreamed. And I would look at her and be like, Grandma, because I'm your wildest dream. Not your most timid dream, Grandma. I'm your wildest dream. So I just want to bring everybody around 1 second. Y'all just heard the brother give a whole dissertation about how not to participate with entheogens. He told some of you his terrible experiences. Some of you were looking for evidence of why I'll never do that. And look what happened to Cambatta. And then he paused for a second, hit the L. He passed the mic back to me. And then I passed it back to him. And he sounded like 1, 2, 3, 4 PhD professors. So I'm about to ask him now, because he just broke down the oxygen, the water, the stars, your spinal column, the Chinese medicine. He just went through the meridians. So, Cambatta, what year did you graduate with your PhD, to get all this knowledge? Because you must have been to the white man's university, because first off, you said that you did it wrong, but now you over here giving me scholarship. I didn't even want to interrupt. I was sick. I was just like, that point. So what college did you come through? Because this wisdom that you're spitting right now, like, I don't even see your degree behind you. Most people put their degree behind you. So, like, what PhD? Like, when did you get your PhD, brother? Because you have to have a PhD to be given. Because you ain't even looking at no book. You coming off the dome. What's happening?
Yeah, I would say it all corresponds to what you're saying. PhD, college. Well, essentially, PhD is what, 8 years, right? Which I would, there's a book called The Outlier, and that says there's 10,000 hours that are needed to have mastery in a particular skill set.
Yes.
Obviously, the PhD is beyond the master. I spent, one of the vital keys is that once I got into psychedelics, I quit my job. And then I ceased to be materialistic, stopped. Anything that I didn't need, I didn't get. Like, I just trust, I guess I've been lucky to have people around me that love me enough and believe in my dreams with me to help support me. But I immediately got rid of working. And I just started studying and then more experiencing. Like, I study to equip myself with the conceptions of the word, but then I just use those as a moral compass so I can use them to measure nature upon my own observation. Because every book was written by somebody, essentially. So I'm like, instead of getting somebody else's interpretation, like, I started off listening to Bobby Hemmett and Phil Valentine, Terrence McKenna, Alan Watts. So of course we're speaking the English language, and white people have been writing and speaking English longer than we have. So it's very hard to run into high-level linguistics without studying the greatest writers of all time, using this particular modern language that is the modern language necessary to describe technology. And it also completely etymologically corresponds with the stars and the cosmos. So
it is a compilation, just like we're a melting pot. This language is a compilation. So I would say the biggest tool I've used is my direct ability to extrapolate knowledge from the word directly and nature. So once you have that, and then also I think there's some spiritual things going on. My father died. I believe that he might have been the last of his genetic code besides me. And when you have the fate of an entire genetic line in your hands, I think the ancestors kind of dump everything on you. And also when you have a parent that dies and they don't have any other kids, or he was also adopted at birth, I don't know if anybody else is evoking them or summoning them. A lot of these gods we evoke are being evoked by millions of people at the same time. But your direct family members that die are the ancestors you should evoke first, because they're going to be right there. And even if you don't believe it in, I guess, a pseudo sense of a ghost hovering over your shoulder, look at it like a name. A name is an encoding. So when you say Cam, I respond. So if I say my grandma's name, her genetics are embedded in me, and there's something inside me that responds to my grandma's name. I speak to that feeling, that recollection of her, and I know how she will respond. I know her voice. So I have more of a physical, mental feeling conception of this particular ancestor. So when you have a direct relative that dies, you can summon them clearer than you can an image of Ra or Osiris that has been anthropomorphized, and it's not as clear. So I definitely practice summoning direct relatives, especially my father. I make him known that, like, look, bro, you weren't here for my life. Whatever you get over there, bring it to me now. You know what I mean? I'm very, very direct with my requests. I'm confident that I can convey and translate the divine word accurately and as balanced as possible, free of ego and my own, I drape it in ego, I package it in shit. But what's happening when you listen to my bars is it's creating a new wrinkle, it's creating a new fold. You can see a new color, you can smell a new scent.
I'm gonna just go ahead and just put it to you like this. So this is the schedule for the psychedelic conference, and I just decided I need you to teach a class. So what day you want to teach your class? You want to teach on Friday or Saturday? What you want me to put you? Come on, I'm putting you on here. You got to come teach a class, man.
Oh man,
you got to teach like the who's who is gonna be here. Like, you giving it to them right now, but I need to put you on the schedule right here. What's up? I mean, what we got to do to make this happen? I'm trying to put some pressure on you.
Let's definitely talk. Let's make this happen. Right after this, I'll I have my business partner. He handles all that stuff, and we'll make that happen, man. As long as you're okay with me getting on there, and I can relate psychedelics to linguistics and hip hop directly, or talk about how to utilize psychedelics in an artistic form, how to back water from the beach.
As long as you don't make it urban and make it mysterious, you can sit there and have a listening party. You can just play your songs and then pick them apart. Like for me, okay, so I'm speaking and I have not submitted what my topic is. So here you come. Your nickname is Problem, because now you're gonna give me a problem. I switched my title 3 times since me and you been on here. I'm like, well, I could just do Baba Kilindi, pull this apart, speak on that for 20 minutes, then do Cambatta on the DMT, the LSD, and then do that. But then I ain't gonna have but 5 minutes for Q&A. But wait a minute, I was supposed to be talking about blah 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 blah. So I like what I call these are high-level challenges. You know what I'm saying? It's just I'm tired of low-level challenges. I've had enough low-level challenges. Is it gonna be bologna and bread, or is it gonna be bread and bologna? I've already conquered that. So now it's just like, yo, and I talked to your manager. He was like, you got something to do, but I want people to know that I'm announcing it now. The KI Network is going to take psychedelic conferences on the road. So we would love to partner with you moving forward when
amazing,
we do something in Atlanta, when we do something in North Carolina. We also want to do something in the spots that's not getting that kind of love. So let's do something in Mississippi. Let's do something in El Paso, Texas. Let's do something in New Mexico. Let's do something, you know, somebody's always doing something in LA. Somebody's always doing something in New York. But let's hit some of the other spots along with them because it's left in our hands now.
Yes.
You know, like ancestors like these, like Baba Kilindi's and Delbert Blair and a lot of martial arts masters passed this year. A lot of martial arts masters passed this year. One thing that the message came, because we had a whole team like working like on Baba Kilindi to like try to get his health back before he transitioned. One of the messages he gave back to the sisters is Baba Kilindi is our ancestors. The way that they fight is now antiquated. It's like it doesn't work anymore. It's like you going to war with a bayonet. Like that don't work no more. So, and there's a huge amount of our people who have been slain with courage, but didn't have any science of the arts. That range from like 8 to 25. We have a whole army of warriors who have no training, and then we have a whole army of ancestors whose training has now become antiquated. Baba Kilindi taught special forces, CIA agents, Navy SEALs. He was banned, let's be clear, the Tamarian Institute of Martial Sciences only went to the first UFC and have been banned ever since. They cannot participate. They are that vicious, okay? So that the message came back that he's taking that training, and now he is the Osiris that's training that army of ancestors, an army of slain family members that we've lost. Because now, because real talk, I might could call an ancestor who just passed, or I always say call the ancestor who fed you. If I put my feet up under your table, I definitely should be giving you food and calling upon you because we have a direct correlation. But if I call that ancestor and that ancestor don't know how to fight and they ain't got no martial component, their skills are going to be limited. Even if it's my grandmother and she loves me, but she really didn't believe in sorcery like I believe in sorcery. Like, nigga, I candles and bong, bong, bong on you. You know, I have a squad. I have like 3 hitters. Sometimes I want to keep my hands clean, and I'll be like, yo, shorty, yeah. Next thing you know, it ain't nice. So, but if we need to be calling on trained ancestors.
We do.
There was a period where I was very upset with Baba for leaving. I was very confused like that day. But then he was just like, yo, relax, because I already told you we close our eyes on one side and open our eyes on the other side of the room. You know, I'm still here, but I still got to go over here. And now, who would be better to train this army? Me. I got it. I already trained and left, you know, the right people in the right places here in this 3-dimensional holograph. Now I'm moving over to dimension 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Because if you think a spiritual war is not already in place or a larger one is coming, you should just log off of this right now. Do not ever be in Cambatta ever again. Like, we're not emphasizing this to you for likes. We're emphasizing this to you because we are your CNN. We are your Fox News. We are your God News. The spiritual war that's already out there, regular human beings who shunning psychonauts, who don't want to listen to Cambatta. Oh, you ain't good as Eminem. Bro, you'll eat M. Because M is only going to talk about drug use for escapism, where you're talking about entheogenic use as an urban to heal yourself, your community, and then that turns into you healing your entire ancestral line. That's really what's at stake here, folks. It ain't just us up in here just kicking it. You know what I'm saying? Like, smoke you a little something, get you some nice headphones too. Don't listen to Cambatta and no raggedy headphones, bro. Like these like 230. You know what I'm saying? Get you some Bose. In there. Don't even listen to it on the computer. Don't listen to it on your phone. Don't hold it up. Get some quality
contact.
Get some contact.
That's why it's, you get your ears pierced where you're peering, you're literally seeing through your ears. But you said CNN, but we're CNN, And I would just say, when it comes to what you were talking about, I always used a certain philosophy. I forget who I heard it from. Maybe it was one of those self-help books like Neville Goddard. And they were like, on the path to, there's like a 3-step trinity. It's mastery, excellence, greatness.
Oh.
On this path, one of the easiest tools you can use is, if you're trying to become great, imagine somebody that's great at that. Then imagine them doing it. Then imagine that you're them, and then do that. And I remember when I was a kid, I would emulate, and one mixtapes and do their crossovers. Or I'm sure you remember being a kid and emulating Michael Jackson, or watching a Bruce Lee flick and emulating his moves. And essentially what you're doing is you're doing willing possession. You take an image of a certain entity, their movements, their sounds, their visuals, and you literally become them. You don't see yourself objectively, or you see out of your eyes. You don't even, so literally, other than your hands and whatever's in front of you, the avatar to which you use can be impressed psychologically. The only people that can doubt it are whoever you're around. And, that's when, surrounding yourself with disciples and, teachers that have a similar belief to you, so they don't disturb your morphogenetic field, essentially. But when you're talking about conjuring the right entities and the right ancestors, you want to get the most robust. You want to get the most, accessible and the most helpful. And whatever your endeavor may be, whether it's selfishly, and that's when it comes down to that truth, because when you ask to talk to God, immediately you forget what you want to ask him, because everything that comes out of your mouth, you realize you know all the answers to, right? And then everything that you want from him that's in excess or in abundance, you realize you already have. So it gets real tricky when you're asking and wishing for more, because your spirit knows you have what you need to survive. A chair is a chair, a car is a car, essentially. So when you're asking for more, it has to come from an aspect of selflessness, love. However, the universe is going to respond to whatever. So you can get somebody like Hitler that's like, I want to, own Earth and kill everybody. And because of his belief, the universe only says yes. So if he doesn't see evil in it, and he sees it as, this is why I'm playing this video game. I'm in this video game as a human, good or bad, to dominate it. You have to have that same kind of, self-impressed delusion when it comes to you mastering oneself. So that goes into the possession factor as well.
I call it passion. I say passion is the oxygen to the soul.
Yeah.
Like regular oxygen is what you need to have life. That's just to move, linearly. But you must have passion for the soul. You can be living and your soul be dead. When you have no passion, then you are soulless. The people who got the biggest soul music are full of passion. Listen, I need to take a poll real quick. In the chat room, how many of you all have never heard a Cambatta song? Press 0, and if you have, press 1. We're gonna take a poll real quick. Watch this, Ray. Watch this. Y'all look in the chat. Now, okay, if you've never heard a Cambatta song, press 0. And if you have, press 1. Okay?
Did that.
So for you all who press 0, your task today is to go listen to LSD and DMT and hold on. When God Used Guns and
Michael Jackson. They gotta listen to Michael Jackson too, man. Mike L. Jackson.
I ain't heard that one yet. I only drive. Listen, I've been rocking with you. hard earlier this morning, and then I had some repeats. I couldn't go forward. I'm not that. I told you what era I'm from. If it's hot, we got to go back. I got to listen to the old. Let me listen. I've listened to LSD 3 times today and DMT twice. So I can just imagine what's gonna happen when I get to my
man. I got a joint called Nigger La Tesla where I'm like inventing new.
Stop joking. No, you don't. No, you don't.
Yeah, Nigger La Tesla. It's like I said. What I said? I said I'll invent an artificial brain so close to mine it's arguably the same. I'll invent a sound modulator that can stop it when it rains and a magnet that can shift how astronomy's arranged. I said the other day while getting high on the couch, I created a water filter that takes hydrogen out. The CIA surrounded every side of my house. They heard I got the hidden secrets to what life is about. I have another joint called Grand Number Theorem, which is probably one of the most mentally provocative ever written. I would say narcissistically as possible. And that one, I mean, I lines in there like when I think about what numbers are, my brain gets numb. Bizarre. 1 solo, soul, Latin for sun and star. The sum of your birth numbers is what you are. My social security is a VIN number. My body is a running car. Boom. Base organism. My dimension is the 4th edition, 444, I be portal shifting. I said, I measure time with the silence before the ticking. I'm the first before the second, before the minute. You don't get it when I fidget with these digits. I'm too cold with numbers, frigid, numbirth. You know, it's labor with the painkillers. I'm a prescripting. Listen, I said 6 is sex. I said 6 like insects limbs. It goes. I said scarred like a sensation, sensations. You know, come on, man.
Oh,
This is direct correspondence from God. Like when I'm in that zone, it's like some. I mean, I know what I'm doing. You know.
Yes.
It's a functional schizophrenia, man. It really is. It's like it's a gift from God. It's like. You know, you have this, you know, it's like, it's safe to say a lot of these mathematical geniuses were probably somewhere on the spectrum. And I believe that I was born in a time where nobody around me really knew what to do with my genius or how to measure it. Probably an IQ test. But anytime they put me in school, I just was uninterested and I was drawn to rap, of course, like many young Black kids were. But if I grew up in a different situation, I was in coding or anything like that, it would be the equivalency of mastery on any spectrum to which I was put into, just because there's some kind of spiritual desperation that's making me have to do this. I can't even take full responsibility for what I say and do, because when I think about the memory of me creating it, it's almost direct download. So it seems like there's a grand purpose to what I'm doing. And it could be as simple as me creating a song that inspires a young kid to be greater than me and do something greater than me. And I may never become a multimillionaire or be, you know, on the Mount Rushmore rap, but I've already accepted that. And I do this just free of any guilt, any expectation. I don't like to say it, but I don't do this for the rags and the rich, for the fame and the glory, bro. I do this to I guess my payback is to be the one that gets to say the illest shit ever said. You know? There's a lot of rappers, like it's not just me. I was listening to Lupe today. I was listening to these battle rappers. There's a lot of people drawing from the heavens. It's just that I would say that when you're standing in a room, there's always somebody that's aware of everybody else standing in the room. And I'm always that guy. And at best, you can be the other one. You know?
Which would be me. I'm the other guy noticing. And then so it's easy for me to see the other guy, because when you're noticing everybody in the room, that means your soul is lit. That's what lit really means. If your soul is not alive and aware, then you ain't lit. You can say whatever you want out of your mouth. You can bust all the guns that you want to talk about, but there's no gun busting rapper who want to see Cambatta at this time or next week. Okay, that's why I can see you ain't got a bunch of features, because niggas is like, no, I'm good, because now I got to go over here and just mess my whole pen game up. I'm telling you.
I feel like there's a spiritual like plot against me in some certain senses. I've been 1 degree of separation from every rapper. I've been in every label. The greats have heard me. They're hearing me now. There's something going on. There's some clogging the system. And I've been blaming myself for years. Like, you know, is it my look? Is it because I don't fucking diddy bop and move around? Is it because I don't have 1,000 chains? Am I not fucking greedy enough?
So
I know what it is.
Nah, bro, because you a light-skinned, young Kilindi style rapper. And Kilindi was kicking doors in, and they was just like, well, we cannot challenge him. That's really, we don't want to mention his name in a rap. So you got that kind of thing where like, they don't want to say your name in a rap. Because like you're a problem. You're a problem if you hear somebody come for you and they're talking about Entheogens and they say your name disrespectfully, you understand that this whole hip hop thing is about the battle. It's based off the battles. And like right now, you just rapping like God told me to give y'all this right here. But if you was to look down and see a human to mention you, like and that's why they're not mentioning you. That's why they don't mention 3,000. You don't hear nobody putting 3,000 names.
It's because you have to. It's just like boxing or MMA or fighting. If you are the champions or you're ranked in the top 10 and there's somebody that's not ranked that's knocking everybody out, don't even say his name. Don't acknowledge it, because you don't have to fight that person. There's nothing your fame isn't riding on that person. You could lose all your fame to this Rocky Balboa. You know what I mean? So it's like, I'm aware of that. I don't go into this with a direct competitive mindset. I go in as clear as water, like Bruce Lee. But I would say that they're like, I guess the only thing keeping me from doing battle rap is like, I guess the purpose of me doing this is for the music.
Nobody's gonna show up. Nobody wants to see you. Listen. When you do a battle rap, I'm just telling you, because I'm a connoisseur. So as a hip hop connoisseur, I understand all the flavors. The only way you can battle rap is you have to study the person you're about to battle. After 3 songs, they're gonna get laryngitis or something. They're gonna do something and say, my throat's messed up, my mama died again, the police came to get me. They're gonna say everything but he's too much. They're gonna say everything but what I'm saying. He's the problem. I'm not getting ready to wake this damn Loch Ness monster up. The hell's wrong with y'all? I'm listening to Cambatta now. Nobody want to battle him. I would say keep on just continue doing the 2 things that even got you across my radar. Keep on exploring into the mysteries, keep representing the urban, keep listening to God and doing what they told you to say. Like and the level of, I already said you was courageous, I already confident, but you also, your humility level, because you just like me, is God first. You like you're not in this conversation like, oh yeah, I'm doing this without a pen. You're like, bruh, I got this from God. I'm just sharing it. Is this coming to me? I'm lucky enough to capture it. I'm crazy enough to say it out my mouth, and then I'm crazy enough to do this. There go more another C in Cambatta. You have to have some. You got to have some craziness in here. It's the people that aren't doing it that are the real holding you bonded into crazy. Don't you want to be free or know what free looks like? Look like he said the first thing he did was what most of y'all are like. Well, I'm watching this while I'm at work. He said I had to leave all my job. I cannot go and keep eating from master's table if I'm going to explore into the unknown, because he didn't have anybody that was like, well, here's the map of like what this is going to look like if you quit your job and just do Entheogens and just rap. Here's a map, because there's already been thousands of artists that have done that. No, these people are scared. Snoop Dogg, when Snoop came on Mike Tyson right after Tyson did the Toad, the next 10 interviews, Mike would just break in and be like, have you done the Toad? It was Exhibit. It was Day Day from Friday, Mike Epps. It was Snoop Dogg. It was some dude from MMA. And to me, as I was sitting there, like, well, you're sitting with the baddest man on the planet. He did it. It didn't kill him. So it can't kill you. But then I saw them crumble. I saw them vacillate. I saw them go limp and try to make fun. Oh, nah, Mike, I'm good. Now I'm gonna tell you this right here. This is part truth, part assumption, because I don't know Cambatta like that. But if I think if me and Cambatta's in the room, Mike Tyson walk in and say, I got some 5-MeO DMT toad. Do y'all want some? It's two people that's gonna say yes. One of them, Cambatta, you going to do some toad with Mike Tyson?
Oh yeah, I mean,
and he paid
him. I might be the one to offer him the toad. You know, hey, I'll match you, dude.
I'll match you. We're gonna be here for a while though. But I will match you. I got some. You got some. Oh yeah, you got some. I certainly do. I can put my hands on it. If I ain't got it, I can put my hands on it. That's what we are too. We are resourceful people.
I did the toad. I did the toad in my Yahweh Shah.
The internet.
I have a video for Yahweh Shah with Brother Hank is in it. And I did the toad on that. I mean, like 3 gigantic hits. Like that was a real response on that. I did the Hape first to clear the temple, and then I went in.
So I heard you was coming to Atlanta soon. If I have some, we got to link up because I want you to take the dose Mike Tyson took. So Hank doesn't give the dose that Mike took. You know what I'm saying? I want you to take the dose that Mike took.
Yeah, yes.
I want you to take that dose. You know what I'm saying? And then maybe you can turn me on to the Hape because I ain't never tried the Hape.
Yeah, it's just some I guess some tobacco that, well, I know it's tobacco that you actually snort and it clears out your tear ducts. It drips you out. It's I guess an emergency detoxification for your blood. It vasculates you, gets you going. So that way, it's a great precursor for the DMT. So it coagulates with your blood system it enters your blood system faster, and also has some MEO inhibitors in it, I believe, some alkaloids that elongate the experience, because anytime you have endogenous DMT enter the body destroys it within 20 minutes. And also it's important to say that the toad DMT, the 5-MeO DMT, is very different than the DMT NN, which was derived from, I believe, the samosa and I forgot the other root, but my first experiences were with the other kind of DMT that you smoke, and that one I've noticed is more visual. It's more like I would say like shockingly visual at first, where the toad is more apparent. It's more apparently that it's healing first before it kind of gives you the shock show. The other form of DMT doesn't leave you with the same, I guess,
shock and awe.
Yeah, like my experience with the toad is that it's a blood cleanser. It also recalibrates your central nervous system. I noticed that something happens to my red blood cells. I see it psychically in my mind. You can see the happenings of the inner body on it. And it hyper ventilates them in a sense. So you see your hands, you feel your veins, everything gets more swollen, and you have to breathe. And every time you breathe, it gets more intense, almost like some kind of, and yeah, the toad is definitely, you feel healed. Like you don't want to eat after that for a while. It's very good to take before a big fast. I love to take huge mushroom doses before a fast. It makes it very easy. Like you don't want to see cooked food. You don't want to see nothing. You just want to drink water because you realize that all food is grounding, is going to take away from your trip. So it's like, oh, okay, yeah. But toad is great. I mean, I'm a psycho now, dude. Like I've already died, so it's like I'm in a bonus round of the video game. I'm just fun, man.
The bonus round. We in the bonus round. That's where we at now.
We're definitely in the bonus. You know we're in the bonus round. You could tell the ancestors been left. We're the extras. You know what I mean? We're the motherfuckers. Like they've been left. They left the pyramids as a, you know, there's symbolism that has the hieroglyphs on it. Obviously, that can be translated throughout time. Just compare them to the nature, like, you know, and they figured this shit out. Somebody figured this shit out. And essentially, you have to be willing to get rid of this experience. And if you have guilt, you hold on to it. You want to get back, like, oh shit, I need to get rid. Anything like that, like you're not going to experience something greater. And it's all happening at the same time. It's literally a dimensional shift.
What I was getting ready to say.
Space.
Oh man, it's somebody asked. I got to catch up with the chat. So I'm in Atlanta, Georgia. I don't know when Cambatta's gonna be down here, but like that's gonna happen. I don't know. We might do. That's gonna be crazy. Me and him can't be in the same space no more than 2 hours now because the Fed's gonna be helicopters flying over the top.
Especially when you're on mushrooms, you feel that. You'll stumble on some knowledge and you'll be like, hold on, what's happening? Who's around? Because like it's like it should be unfair for you to see this clear. It's like, oh no, they don't want this. They don't want the sheep to be the shepherd. No.
Exactly, Mundo. Somebody was were you on Apple Music? Somebody was like, where can they find your music? So before we get out of here, you gotta let them know. Hold up, man. Let me see what you
plug it in like Glade.
Yeah. I gotta check. Had to check a little something. But so what platforms can people find you? Because there's way too many zeros that was like they had never heard of your. Not the Nugget. You ain't got the Nugget right there, do you? That's the Nugget.
I got more nuggets than Mickey D's. But look, man, that wasn't meant to cut you off, but Cambatta, as it's spelled right here, Cambatta. You can type that into any digital music platform, Spotify, iTunes. My newest album is LSD. 16 songs. It's the lunar solar duality. The first 8 are based on the lunar moon aspect. The second 8 are based on the solar aspect. I mean, it's definitely a mindful, to say the least. And I'm just happy I was able to create it and thankful to all the fans. The ones watching that previously know me and the ones that will become fans, hopefully, or supporters. I don't really like the word fans. ACs is better because I condition the air. You know, that's what we're talking about. Fans, we use ACs. AC, that's that alternate current because we're alternating. Where it's not direct, it's not DC, it's AC. But let's go back. Let's keep it to the check like pasties. Let's keep my pace, please. You know, look. Yes, that's the album, Lunar Solar Duality. You can also go to CambattaMusic.com. Cambatta at Cambatta Music for everything, including like Twitter, Instagram. Yeah, man, I got a lot coming out. I'm working on something with Soul Messiah, Sal Rock. I'm working on a project with Black.
Hold it. You will not sit up here and just think that you can say, I'm doing something with Soul Messiah and Ciroc, and then think you're gonna just change the subject. Now freeze, brother, freeze. Yeah. Oh no, you're not gonna do that. You're not gonna do that. You're not gonna talk about because Ciroc is a problem. We just want to everyone. If you haven't heard of Ciroc, you can just say problem MCs, not in this order, but somewhere close to the top. See, a problem MC is the MC that they just don't want to put on the radio. And that MC is not going to pay for radio. So, but your favorite MC is listening to them. Like Black Thought is listening to Ciroc and probably Cambatta. You know what I'm saying? And so that's why I say I'm your favorite astrologer's favorite astrologer. They come see me. It's all good. You ain't got to come see me for your astrology reading. I'm moving on to other stuff right now, but I know the
source of the source.
Now I know the 10. I know the 10 illest astrologers in North America, including Canada. Period. On speed dial. And it ain't nothing. You know what I'm saying? I go to them, they come see me. Right. So, but if you think that you're gonna just do something with Ciroc I think a lot of y'all should put y'all seatbelt on and go get fitted for a professional mouthpiece, because that's going to be a mouthful. Okay, you hear what I said? Get you a mouthpiece, because that's going to be a mouthful. I'm trying to. That's not even fair. And then
it's not.
And you get to get on some of Soul Messiah stuff, because Soul Messiah ain't gonna let Ciroc get on nothing that he didn't touch. And everybody wants J Electronica. Everybody wants some of that Soul Messiah. Brother, when is that coming? Is that tomorrow? Is that tomorrow?
I can't really say much more than that, because we're still in, we're still in the,
I'm brushing that up. I'm putting. Look, I'm finna put that in. I'm finna put that in the petri dish. I'm finna call Soul Messiah.
Yeah. I put it out there so that people, because I know that I'm only amongst people that are gonna cast positive energy behind it. And once you cast out something like that, when you share your birthday wish, and you know that it's amongst people that can just kind of propagate it and make it better and propel it with you, that makes it even greater. But everything happened from my connection with Brother Rich and that channel, and I was able to make the connection, and I'm definitely excited to be working. I've been able to, behind the scenes. I'm not somebody that brags about those things or uses it for clout, but some beautiful things are going to be starting to happen soon. When you speak, and you speak direct, and you speak truth, it won't be ignored for so long. You don't need to do anything fancy. I'm going to be proof of that I don't have to do anything but create greatness for it to be acknowledged at some level. But yeah, like Ciroc is, like I said, there's not just one X-Men. There's a whole bunch of them. They're popping out. And once you call out Ram's horn, blue, blue, they come out the woods. They got bow and arrows. They got sword. Shoo, shoo, shoo. And she's unbelievable. There's so yeah, there's a lot of things in store, man. And yeah, man, I'm not shy about it, man. I wanna work with the greats. My real dream is to work with Erykah Badu, Bilal, and D'Angelo. Those are like my holy trinity. That's like my base, my primary foundation for my musical tastes. Surrounded around those people. So it's like
that smell like George Clinton. That smell like
Funkadelics. I'm only 90s and 70s. 70s is the best era of music of all time. That's basically where most of my time is spent. But I would say 70s and 90s. Mostly soul, funk, R&B.
So I got a musical astrological tip for you and everybody. You ready for this one? This one's gonna be perfect.
Please.
So your birthday was, as a matter of fact, I'm gonna do it for Cambatta, and then y'all can do it for y'allself. So everybody watch this right here. So you're just gonna go to the internet. What year were you born?
1987.
So we're gonna put in 19. But what was the week?
It was July 21st.
July 21st.
I don't know what week that is.
Watch this. Top 100 songs. Hit enter. So this is the vibration that you came in on.
Oh man, this is genius. I haven't thought of doing this.
Because you decided to come that week. You see what I'm saying? So let's go down here. Let's see. Boom, 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 boom. July 18th alone, whoever that is, Billy Steinberg and Tom Kelly. And then Heart. So what you want to do is go look up, because somewhere you can find, they have it like, by the month. Oh, Hot 100 might be on Billboard. Yes, but there's a way you can go find your top 100s. Look at that, August 8th, 1987. So now I should be able to back that up to Hold on. Oh, I'm wicked with this. This type of stuff you get when you mess around. Let me see if they're gonna get to me. Okay, here we go.
Fiddling on the Roof.
Fiddler on the Roof, baby, July 25th. Let me back it up one more time to the 18th. There we go. All right, so let's see what it was. Heart was number 1. Shakedown from the Beverly Hills Cop was number 2. I Want to Dance with Somebody was on the 3rd vibration when you were born. Don't Disturb This Groove.
Don't Disturb This Groove.
You don't know that song. Come on, man.
Yeah.
Point of No Return. I don't know who that. Funky Town? Are you serious? Funky Town? You came in on Funky Town song? I still haven't found what I'm looking for. Something So Strong. I Want Your Sex from Beverly Hills. So this explains why you be so explicit in your rhymes too. Now, I would like to tell everyone that the brother is not ashamed to be explicit. Just want to be really clear before you go over there and press play. And rhythm's gonna get you. Songbird, Kenny G.
I got Songbird on my album. That's crazy. She's the feature on my album. Like the main singer on my album her name is Songbird. And Kenny G, I used to listen to him. He was nice. He was the he had the sax. What was it? A sax flute or something? Clarinet.
Yeah. Yes. And we got Girls. And we can tell by your music, the ladies love Cambatta. That's all we're going to say.
What's that?
Janet Jackson, The Pleasure Principle. Okay, I'm understanding your music a lot better now. Thank you. This is like doing a reading for somebody. Like, Venus said, nah, son. Ooh, Lisa in the Cult Jam and Janet Jackson and Climax and Surface. Okay, listen. If you really want to see what vibration Cambatta is on anybody, this is what you picked.
Moonlighting, Al Jarreau, I like that.
Only
I've never heard it. The Whispers, okay. Smokey Robinson, all right. We're getting in some names. Genesis in 2D,
Steve, that's Steve. 7 Wonders, Atlantic Star. Yeah, y'all got to go look up your top 50. You know what I'm saying? Like, this would be crazy.
Number 44 on there. What's number 44 on there?
Come on, man. Why you want to just cheat and just jump to it like that?
Can we try?
Hold on, but you just
eagerness. That's my urge to talk to the people. Can we just try?
Nah, the crazy part is if you start taking some of these and like sampling these joints. Ooh.
Do a whole birth album of everything that was on the radio that day. I should look up the exact like radio rotation that was in New Haven that was playing on like a local R&B station because my family was only into like soul music. Like,
yeah, but you came in to influence the world, brother. That's why I go to this chart. You came in to influence the world.
You're right.
This is monument. Like for me, I'm an old head. ABCs and Michael Jackson was like number 3 in the country the year I was born, that week I was born. And so I'm always breaking the song. I'm always breaking things down to the basics. I'm an ABC. You know what I'm saying?
Alone, Heart. And the crazy thing is, earlier you picked up the Crab, the Hermit, the isolated one, and the Alone, and then the Heart is where the intuition, where I'm wishing into is alone, and that's the heart right there. That's that heart chakra, and that's where basically I'm emoting from. It's alone. So alone, all one. I said some people are alone. I'm all one, not half of one. The whole where the half is from. A whole is but a circle, which is actually one, none. None or none, like the one that doesn't procreate, but the one, all one. So the number 1 was all one, and that's the heart. That's the, you remember Captain Planet when they all came together? The only brown one in the group. Well, I think there was the only brown one in the group was the heart. Heart. Come on, man. I look like that little dude too. It makes sense.
If y'all ain't went over there and bookmarked some Cambatta quickly, Cambatta music. That's you got merch? You got merch?
Yeah, CambattaMusic.com. You once you get in, I think you can only you go to enter the site, and then there's a store in there. You can just buy stuff. Yeah, like I also have a Cash App. I'll enter that into the comments
Absolutely.
for donations. But yeah, like everything is on the website. You know, it's on the web like a spider. You know,
who did the LSD video? He must get a shout out today. We cannot leave without giving him a shout out.
Shout out to at Black Privilege, at BLK Privilege on Twitter and Instagram. Incredible. They also did my lyric video for No Fear from my Cambatta album.
So
very talented with the animation. I can't even fathom how they did that.
So when you give us the first 3 songs we need to listen to in your catalog, do we start with LSD or you want us to dig around first? Give us our top 3 where we gotta start at, where we're gonna be like, okay, I'm dealing with this dude.
I would say right off rip, I mean, you're on one of them, Michael Jackson. Everybody knows who Michael Jackson is. I basically extrapolate his whole life from his name directly.
Ooh.
Everything rhymes with Michael Jackson. It's like, my name is Michael Jackson. Perfect mix of white and black skin. Nose carved by the finest craftsman. Moonwalk across ice and aspen. Modern Christ of Nazareth. Beyond everything the mind imagines. Michael Jackson, I thought pen in the Bible happened, or so basically, but it's hyperbolic, it's mystical, it's as if I'm only talking of his miracles. I don't ignore the pedophilia and the demonic aspect of his conduit, which if you're the brightest light, you're also going to attract the most moths and mosquitoes and bloodsuckers. So yeah, Bones of Osiris is another one. I mean, all of my work pretty much encompasses who I am. But I would say Michael Jackson, Tupac Murder Confessions, and I would say, yeah, LSD. LSD is a good one. Yahweh Shai. I extrapolated the mythos of Yahweh Shai directly from his name. I said Yahweh Shai. I mean, it's just too much to even.
Where is that? Hold on, man. Who's that? The nigga Tesla? Where is that at? I gotta have that.
Nigga La Tesla. It's on YouTube. It's on YouTube. That joint. The dude who did the bass line on it is the guy who did all the bass lines on Blueprint for Jay-Z. He did the bass line on Renegade with Eminem and Jay. He's one of the greatest.
How do I spell Nikolai? The N-I-G-G?
Yeah, N-I-G-G or X-X. I'm sorry. N-I-X. No. It's N-X-G-G. Just put that in. Is it? Scroll down. That might not have been a good idea. Just put in LSD. LSD. Yeah, hold on. And then right there, it's the 4th one down.
Ooh.
Nigga La Tesla, yeah, that joint.
Let me go over here and save this.
It's good for the kids, man. It's like a good, it's a pure imagination. One of my things is that I keep my imagination intact. So part of my reason for being a hermit, which is also inside of the word hermetic, in order for you to really master oneself, you must, I guess, seek that isolation. I mean, all of the great scribes and prophets all gave themselves that time to extrapolate directly where there's no one around you to cast doubt on the miracles and magics of God. That's what really happens. That's why you keep the wish to yourself. But yeah, Nigga La Tesla, I basically use this album to talk about the plight of Christ or the journey of Heru, or what you hear in the storyline of Dante's Inferno, going from the depths of hell to reach enlightenment. And I'm basically using the template of Christ, somebody like a Nikola Tesla, and I put it Nikola Tesla because obviously I'm not. It's a play on words. It's nigger. It's representative of, not only a derogatory term for a black person, but it also insinuates ignorance. And for that to be in Tesla, who is somebody who is known to be
somebody who's extremely intelligent,
God MC
creates this paradoxical duality, which is the overall theme of the album. So that's why I have Nigger Christ and Nigger Latessa on this album, so I can balance the powers. Even Son of Horus is spelled Horus, but Hor, W-H-O-R-S, which is also who are us. And I also mentioned that the saint must come from the sinner.
So here's what the download just hit me like while you was talking. Let's do a Psychonaut listening party / workshop where, you know how they have paint and sips? We need to do like a paint and microdose, but paint and trip. My G, wait a minute. Look, see some of y'all think that this is a game. Y'all think that me and him know each other. But guess what? We don't. But we brother from another mother. We was born in the same belly of the same star several trillion years ago. And now y'all done messed up the church's money and let him smoke good for me and him while I write it down.
Oh, so, yeah, man. Smoke be like oxygen, baby. You know.
We're gonna put paint and trip on here. And this paint and trip listening party. Oh, now this is
Oh, and I would capitalize pain in that paint and leave the undercase lowercase t. Emphasize the pain in paint.
Ooh. Now I need you to write it the way you write it, but I'm just catching the big broad part. I'm catching the big broad part. When we name it, I'll let you name it. I mean, write it out in the syntax that you use. You know what I'm saying? Because we want to use that urban syntax that triggers another part of the mind that, you know, like Malachi York used to say to the Nawapians, when you hear your ears ringing, that's really like a test signal that is coming from the mothership, making sure that when the real emergency comes, you'll be able to be tuned in. You like your ears will be ringing, and you be like, "Yo, you hear that?" They be like, "I don't hear nothing." You be like, "Man."
When you look at the word signal, it's really spelled sign all. It is a sign of the all. And you said passion earlier, which is pass ion. So in order for I to pass on, or for me to pass the ions of God, I must approach it in a purely intuition-based, passionate flow state, free of thought and interruption, in order to have pure passion. But when we're talking about the signal, that's how you get to the signal. It only happens to you in moments of clarity. And we happen to be in the year 2020, which is why certain sacrifices have been made on this plane, starting off with Kobe Bryant. They immediately put out a Michael Jordan documentary right over him. They could have easily just put out a Kobe documentary. Why, right? And then you had COVID, Corona, George Floyd, Kilindi. So many different things are happening, and it all happens on 2020, the year of clarity, the year of vision, when you see finally, and now you have to make a decision on how you're going to act and react to what we now see before us. Everything's coming. All the teachings of Sabi, you know, I go into the health store, all the CMOS is sold out. Everybody's searching for knowledge, and this is after the internet cleanup, because you remember post 2012. Before they did the great annihilation of the internet, when niggas was still, you know, I say niggas, I just use the word freely.
Brother, you don't have
to dug in there.
My name
have to always, you know, and you know, regardless. But I forgot what I was even saying, dude. I'm too gone. But basically, it's like, dude, you know, hey, there we are.
Somebody was saying, that whole part about leaving your fears behind and being past ions, that's the only way you're gonna get it. You know what I'm saying? Like, your soul is looking for that. Why would your soul wake up for you giving a mediocre effort? Or why would the ancestors who can see everything, not just the ancestors, but then the gods beyond the ancestors, why would Thor come help you? Why would Ogun come help you? Why would Het Heru help someone giving half-ass? You know, it's like, you don't help people who go half-ass. But this is the other part I learned about the toad. The toad is undefeated, and it meets you where you are. And a lot of you all need to have the entheogen just to get you to quit lying so much to yourself and to others about yourself, and to quit being caught up in the shame, blame thing that hovers over us like this hair coming out of my head. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't have to have that. And when you go into an entheogenic trip, I do EFT. I do the tapping method. But at the end of all the tapping, you know what we always say? And God still loves me anyway. It doesn't matter what I'm tapping out. At the end of the day, God still loves me anyway. Oh, well, somebody, you know what? My mother says she doesn't love me, and she says I'm a dog piece of shit. And God still loves me anyway. But my mother doesn't love me. But your mother doesn't have the resources that God does either. And your mama now hasn't let you know, honestly, she ain't your friend. So a lot of y'all can't really like come to grips with a whole bunch of stuff. And then that's what makes you struggle through life. You know what I'm saying? It makes you struggle in your mind, which is why we have so much mental ridiculousness going on. So that's why it's important. And I'm glad you gave me the opportunity to like ask you these type of loaded questions that I said, these other cats who've been interviewing you. If somebody's interviewed you like this and let you go in like this before, please send it to me so I can watch it, because like they really get.
They're on the level of first.
Say that again.
I've gone in, but not on with somebody that understands and understands psychedelics on a purely base. This is a very unique, original, and I'm honestly honored to be a part of it. And I thank you, man, for allowing me to express these things freely. I'm showing my my peanut butter and jelly. But thank you so much, man, for allowing me this platform, man, to babble on, man, and not be looked at. You know, sometimes you feel like you're one of the guys with the tinfoil hats, and it's like one of the issues with dealing with entheogens and mysticism is that you still have to go back into the world. And you still might have family members that celebrate all the traditions, and you know, hey, that's what's his name? Cat? Is it
Kermit?
Kermit, but that his name, the entity is Ket. Is it? I know it's is it Ket? It's Ke something. Kep? Is it Kep or Keep? Something around there. Kek. There he is. Kek is the frog god. That's him. K-E-K. Look it up.
Y'all heard the brother. Listen, you can't go anywhere else where you was gonna get jewels like that, original jewels. Like, you know how they'll be like, I'm gonna hold up something and you rap about it. No, I went and held up something just to let him know that there's nothing weird he can say. I'm holding a frog right now with a yoga posture. So there's no way possible he can tell me anything that's weird. You know what I'm saying? And then what did he do? He was like, oh, that's Kek. Go look it up. Go look up the frog god.
I'm about to pull it up right now just to verify with myself that I'm not playing. When you look it up, look at that. Frog, come on.
Bam.
They've been praising this since Kemet. What do you see right there? Hold on. Right there. Hold on. La da da. Right there. Look at that. Right there. Praise the toad.
Let me go. You know, I got the big.
Kermit was always running from the pigs, right?
Yeah.
What the black man always doing? Who's the pigs? I said I'm the animal. Who's the lady with the green socks? Remember the Muppet babies? Their god wore these green socks. I think those were the same green socks that the Witch of the East was wearing in the Wizard of Oz when the house landed on her. Come on. You know? What do you want, the red or the black ants? Your last chance. How can a black male have stance? Come on.
If they ready, they ready. If they ain't, go, you know what I'm saying? They say, well, my man Toby said the other day, try Jesus, but don't try me. You see it? How the ancient, boom, they're serving the frog. These mysteries, man.
Prophecy of Ket. Come on.
Wow. Wow, 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 wow. Woo! All of it's right up in our eyes, man, right in our faces. All we gotta do is just start paying attention. Be more open to the possibilities than you are open to somebody else's fears. Like to me, that's like the worst thing. The worst thing you can do with your budget is let somebody live in your mind rent free. They're just living in your mind rent free, and they in your mind rent free and fucking you, not paying no rent, and they getting you pregnant with all type of disagreeable entities, disagreeable notions, toxic thoughts, and you sitting around them sharing them with others. Yo, let me give this jewel. Let me. I went to the. I still go to McDonald's because I still say grace over my food. I went for a fish sandwich and some French fries, and I go in. As soon as I go in McDonald's, they say, "Yo, you ain't got your mask on." I was like, "Come on, man, are we doing this?" So I go outside. I get my mask. I put it around my chin, not my mouth and nose. I come in, and they were like, "How can I help you?" And I was like, "I'm not even wearing it right, but it's because you feel safer now that I have it on my chin." And then a sister came in behind me and she got a paper check. I used to work at McDonald's, so you would pick up your paper check. But I was like, in 2020, who's picking up a paper check? And then I was like, oh, it's over. Because if you go to McDonald's and you see everybody compliant behind the counter wearing a mask, then you're going to think it's some kind of mandate that you wear a mask too. But there's really no law that says you have to wear, like they can't send you to jail or prison, but people can like prejudge you, or have prejudice against you.
And refuse business in private.
Refuse business, but watch this jewel right here, Cambatta. This is what I got yesterday. I ain't even put this out on my own platform. Women are worried about getting pregnant. They so worried about getting pregnant that because they think that the baby is the something when they say I'm gonna catch something. So a lot of women are afraid of getting pregnant by the wrong person. So the way they spread COVID was to go to our women and make them afraid to what? Catch something. Our women already had a fear because Black women get more abortions than anybody else in America per capita. So now they took that fear of our women getting pregnant and said, put a mask on. Just like we think that there's no asexual reproduction going on outside of the Bible, when there's at least 2,000 cases around the world every year of a woman getting pregnant without semen being introduced. And then when we tell it, they look at me and say, oh, you nigga, you just with the frog. You know what I'm saying? You do mushrooms, so that's not true. Well, why don't you Google it? Just like he just said kek, and I Googled it and it was there. Why don't you Google how many asexual pregnancies that they have? But we're letting people play on our fears. So now, even though you're getting all excited right now because me and Cam is on here talking about have courage, be passionate, go take your heroic dose, don't go outside, make sure the setting is right. You're going to get off of here and be like, I got to put my mask back on because I'm not doing the other CNN inside. I'm looking, well, what did they say? Stop looking for your validation outside of yourself, folks. Like that's my big thing. And that was one of the reasons I feel that I was drawn to this brother. We were drawn together for him to come on this platform because I feel he looked like me and I look like him. We don't care. You can't shame us. And we're gonna keep searching. You know what I'm saying? And then and when we can see and hear a real master like Baba Kilindi, we're gonna shut up and listen. As much as I've heard you talk, I also can see you listening when I'm talking. And you probably got crazy ears. You started with Bobby Hemmett, Phil Valentine, Alan Watts, Terrence McKenna. Like those aren't. Terrence McKenna has one of the most annoying voices in the world. And you still sat there and was like, okay, let me extract this here. And
when you take DMT, you can extrapolate the transcendental entry point. You see, what we're getting towards here, folks, is not what they said it was.
No, I listen. I mean, as you were talking, I unfolded everything. I mean, you're holding the frog, the toad, and what do toads catch? Flies, right? And what are flies? They flew, right?
Right.
They fly because they flew. You catch the flu, right? And they also keck is the symbolism for the meme in these days. We're talking about the mirror, right? And if you look at the word mirror, it's my roar. And the roar is, we're talking about the pride of the lion, or the lion, which is also Judah, the son, right? So we're looking at that reflection. And then the frog is also the toad, and the story is told. Your story is already told. That's why you have to tap into the toad. I mean, if you go into the whole analogy of how they even move, you know, from lily pad to lily pad, the warts on the back.
Oh, wait.
Everything has symbolism.
The 5-MeO. Okay, so why? So the 5-MeO toad is not a regular toad.
He's the Bufo Alvarez.
Sonoran Desert, but he stays underground for 9 months and only comes out for 3 months. And it's crazy because the 3 months that he comes out are the only time that the landslide mushrooms in San Jose Pacifico, some say the strongest mushrooms in the world, they only produce on the side of the mountain for 3 months. And you can't take them off the mountain because most of the time you have to like dehydrate your mushrooms here when we grow them. They're dried grams. But in Mexico, the thunderslide mushrooms, you eat them wet. You know what I'm saying? But this particular toad stays underground 9 months. So for me, watching 147 different people around the world do a toad experience, and then I got the toad master teaching me about the 22 tryptamines in there, and like how he got the whole thing graphed out. Like I'm editing his book that like he wrote it kind of like he speaks, but you can't always write your books like you speak. So I understand it, but I was like, let's move this a couple of words around. But in that, you sit there and was like, yo, these people are having a new birth. Well, that's what happens after 9 months of gestation. But the only thing mixed with the venom from the Bufo alvarius Sonoran desert toad is sunlight. So I want to warn y'all, stay away from the synthetic.
Yeah.
The Sonoran, and you want healthy toads. Just like they took us from Africa and we weren't as healthy over here in America. When you take the toad out of the Sonoran desert and put him in North Carolina or Brazil or Afghanistan or some other place, he's not healthy. So if he's not healthy, then the venom that you're getting from him is not as healthy, and then you're putting yourself at risk. But when you get the true toad venom, the only thing they mix it with, they pop the pimple, catch it on a piece of glass, and mix it with sunlight. So it's 9 months of gestation mixed with raw. And then when you ingest it, then you become a part of another club, which I call the incomplete sentence club. When somebody look at you and you say, and then you just give up. That's how I know when somebody, and then I say, okay, I know you hit it right, because there's a certain way that you have to hold it, especially when you're going at 100 grams. There's a certain way you got to inhale it and prepare. So me, I've been teaching Tai Chi since 2002. So that was the one thing Jerry was missing, was there's 8 ventricles that you need to fill up. That's why you have to inhale for 8 full seconds. And then you have to hold it to compound it. You have to lock it, just like they do before the rocket launches off. And so earlier when you was like, we're not just doing these things just to get high, on the street level high, no, we are not. But we do want, you need to get high so you can look down on this situation, this very effed up situation that you're in. You need to look down and see this holographic image from your true birth position, which is galactical. You know what I'm saying? Like Doctor Strange, when he's falling through the atmosphere like that, that is the closest thing you're gonna get to something catching it on a movie. Or you could go to YouTube and type in computer generated fractals, and then watch the fractals keep going down and down and down and down. As a matter of fact,
LSD visualizer for my album. It's a LSD visualizer, and it has, you know, mathematical visual fractals of geometrics that correspond with, you know, the Fibonacci, you know, mathematics, so on and so forth. Also, there's a movie called Enter the Void, which is a first-person film about a guy doing DMT and then actually dying, and it's based on the Tibetan Book of the Dead, which all goes into the between stasis between making a full transition to death, and how there's these, you know, this certain period of bardo. But yeah, you're absolutely right when you're talking about the total one important thing that you're basically mentioning is that there's no chemical process between you and it. Like, I would say the most pure forms of psychedelics would be obviously mushrooms, because you could pick them right up and eat them. You don't have to burn them, smoke them. Like marijuana, it's safe to say there's a chemical, you got to change its form in order to ingest it.
it don't
When you just eat it, it doesn't work the same way.
work without the fire.
Yeah, and the secretion from the bufo is very, very similar to that. It's a direct correspondence. You do have to smoke it, but you don't have to, you know, cut it with anything. You don't have to. It's not like cocaine or anything.
You know, the crazy part too is the toad is teaching us for 9 months. The toad is successful and he only works 25% of the year. Like 9 months, he's relaxing. And now, this is the funny part that Jerry said. He's been sitting on this venom for millions of years because there was no propane lighter for you to inhale it. Because the only way you could take it in is through it being lit up, you know what I'm saying, like a crack pipe. So he's been sitting on this, on this technology, waiting on us to wake up to a point where now we can wake up further. There's different levels of woke, y'all. Okay. Yeah. So please.
I'll just go in, not to interrupt you, but there was the aspect of licking the frogs. But when you ingest the secretion, it you have to go through the physical nausea of your body. It's very hard to ingest enough, you know, through the mouth in order for you to get the full impact. But they've been, you know, so the way that it was discovered essentially is that they were licking frogs. Like this poison, there's also other poisonous frogs that, you know, if you watch the movie Apocalypto, you know, he dipped his arrow tip or dart tip in the back of a certain toad. They always let them live because you can extract from this toad and not kill it. That's one aspect. This is a living force. So you can dip it and then immediately kill somebody. So this is something that would, I guess, the reason why it's a secretion is it secretes it because essentially it's in fear. But this taken by any other animal would cause them to go into a state of hypo-delusion. But for whatever reason, for humans, and only the human that allows it to live, because if you kill it or you do wrong to it, you don't respect it, you might get a bad trip. You have to respect that frog. You have to allow it to live. You have to, and once it sees that, it's like a pit bull or something. It smells fair. It smells, you know, deception. So yeah, that's why the shaman and the medium is very important. The source. Same thing with mushrooms or even weed. Anywhere you get something, it derives from. That's why that 9 months of gestation is. I mean, it's relatable to that secretion is like semen, and that 9 months is like holding back your nut or your sperm for 9 months. You're getting a serious case of blue balls, and by the time you ejaculate, you have this super potent sperm, and it can land close to a vagina, and just the aura of this super sperm will get her pregnant. You know,
give me that verse where you say if your sperm drop in the sand, I create a whole running man. Something. What was that you said?
I said so much nigger in my DNA. I could come in the desert sand and bring a jungle back. I got so much nigger in my DNA. If I bust a nut into desert sand, I can bring a jungle back. And that's just like, oh man, I gotta be careful with this shit. Anywhere to land. If I masturbate into a gym sock, I'm gonna wake up with a child at the foot of my bed, like, oh, instant birth, you know. But that's kind of the thought, is that like essentially we have these hyper potent abilities. Essentially, yeah. The only thing on this planet that can create a human being is sperm, is semen, and this secretion, which is why it has the same prefix, is a cloudy white. It literally is a semen material, and it's when you smoke it. I have another line. I said, if I crystallize my sperm and I smoke it, I could visualize. I said, if I crystallize my cum and I smoke it, I could visualize my sons for a moment. That's on the song that does not. Just forget you even heard that, because that's a future bar. But yeah, that's what we're doing on this. We're getting the toad, and the toads. I mean, they're like the grandfathers of frogs. They're all knowing. They ribbit. They fill themselves up, and their whole practice is breathing. When you look at a toad, when they breathe in, you see their face expand, and that's telling you exactly. Maybe we should, when we do the toad, we should have a toad in front of us, and we should match our breathing synchronicities with that bubble on the bottom of that toad neck. Breathe in. Whoo. He probably holds it in for 8.
Oh, trust me, we.
8 1 second ones.
Oh, we do.
I'm sure you already tapped in.
Oh, well, I definitely take them back to the toad breathing technique. That's funny you said that. So that's like, I mean, not funny. It's part of that. That's, you already psychic. Your joints is lit. Your joints is old. Ladies and gentlemen, this is what being online in extra innings looks like. He finishing sentences. We ain't never met. We just want to be really clear. I just want to be really clear. This is the first time I ever met this bro. You know what I'm saying? And he's not gonna be able to get rid of me. That's just the facts. You know what I mean? It's like,
yeah, man. This is a, we're getting reintroduced. We already knew each other. We come from the same waters, the same river. So that's all this is, man.
Got some sport prints, man. We got to get you a grow kit, bro. You got to start growing.
Yeah, I gotta start incubating some babies, man. I was thinking about maybe we can. I don't know. Imagine if you just had a strict 1-month diet of just psilocybin mushrooms, and then you took your excretions or your poop and you grew shrooms on your psilocybin-based excrement. Let's talk.
So that's called substrate. So like everybody look at my face. I'm not surprised at all. I understand. So in mycology terms, you take the manure and you mix it with 2 other substances or 3 other substances, and that's called substrate. So you have the grains over here in the jar, and you hit them with the liquid culture LC, and then once the mycelium spreads in turns the jar white, then you go and put that in the substrate. The substrate is what he's talking about, and the richer the substrate, just like regular manure has nitrate. That's what the sperm is looking for. So if you were to go in and like really engineer your own poop that you're going to be using in substrate, I'm sure that'll be some like fantastic. One of the biggest lessons I ever had in growing, I was just growing them and picking them and so just amazed at what I had done. And then my man was like, yo, have you eaten your own fruit yet? I was like, eat my own fruit? He was like, food. It's just like, it's technology. You came in here, engineered this, so take it. There's nothing different. I mean, like, I've got mushrooms from the street, and I've eaten my own mushrooms. When you grow your own, they hit different. I just want to be really, really clear on that. You know what I mean? Like, they hit different than when you get it from somewhere else. Because
it's like Mama's sweet potato pie versus that store-bought Patti LaBelle John.
Patti LaBelle is good.
It's good, but it ain't like Mama's.
It ain't
You got a new nutmeg, baby.
Hey man, you done already gave me full. I know your manager's like, wait a minute, nigga, we doing this on the cuff. Like, how long y'all gonna be talking? Phoenix, we got you. We got you, Phoenix, we got you. So one of Kilindi's #1 students, he already texted me. he was like, "Yo, you gotta link me with Cambatta." So,
Please.
like, I don't know. I want to be a fly on the wall for that conversation because bread is like crazy. Then we want to link you with Dakota, and you do something on Dakota's channel. My channel, like we chilling, we family. Yeah, but Dakota got 275,000 followers. So at the conference, we decided that I asked Dakota to come teach because he was stuck, quote unquote, stuck in Peru for 5.5 months during COVID. But he was at an ayahuasca center. So guess what he was doing while he was stuck? A whole bunch of ayahuasca. So I was like, bro, that's your topic. Just talk. You can name it 5.5 months of ayahuasca. And so what we've decided is on his hour that he's supposed to be teaching his class, we're going to do a live podcast from inside of the conference. Like, first off, Cam, we wanted you to be there because I really want you to stunt, because this is the only psychedelic conference in the world in 2020. Earlier, what you were saying about the 2020, that's what it was. Baba Kilindi said this was the roaring 20s. What is and roaring is when you must proclaim it. The last time they were, the last one was 100 years ago, and this is coming in the exact same way. It's like, meow. So, this conference, since we're the only one, guess where it ends up at? It ends up in Ogun's town, because Detroit is an Ogun city, because it's a city of iron, but it's also as the Stargate as well in Detroit. In Detroit, and we got all the ancestors going to be there. Baba Kilindi was born and transitioned in Detroit, and so we're going to do it. It's not going to be like just regular, kind of cut and dry like this, because Baba Kilindi was like, he wasn't against, but he was like, he brought attention to it that why must the entheogenic community, where most of the entheogens come from indigenous brown-skinned melanated people, be run by a group of old white men who ain't never been past a gram? You ain't got no toads at your house. You don't stay in Mexico. You ain't, you're not cultivating no mushrooms. And you officially got in off of a violation when your boy went down there and seen Maria Sabina, and first off, she wasn't supposed to serve you. Now, for those of you in the street, you know about these rules when you're in the trap. Some people you just don't serve. She wasn't supposed to serve him, but then he gave his word and was like, oh, I'm not going to tell anyone. I'm not going to show. I wasn't supposed to take pictures, but I took one anyway. I wasn't supposed to tell anyone, but I told everybody anyway. What happened to Maria Sabina? She's killed. Her whole family's knocked off. Her house is burned down, and she's kicked out of her sovereignty. She loses her sovereignty because of these people who are now attempting to put a lock on entheogens. That's how I know that this whole thing is going to blow up in their face, because you cannot marginalize and put borders around the God molecule, because God has already given you, okay, we gave you combustion engines. Okay, you monopolized that. We gave you planes. You monopolized that. Now you're trying to monopolize cryptocurrency and entheogens. It's going to blow up in their face. But for those of us who are respectful, like Cam is not worried about nobody taking him in a battle because he's respectful of rap, period. As the culture, he respects the culture. He's not a vulture. He's always giving to the culture, expanding and extending the culture past where it was before I heard of him. Like, I've been listening to him all day today. Guess what? Hip hop has been expanded in just the 2 hours I've been listening, period. And now today I have the whole Spotify. I'm gonna be listening to this as I'm working on the KI Network Detroit Psychedelic Conference. So here's our hip hop laureate right here, ladies and gentlemen, right here. I don't know if you're gonna be there or not, but I'm gonna have a room where you can get you some. You know what I mean? It's gonna be, and I don't know whether please, I hope Phoenix sent you that track that we did yesterday. So it was a track I had in my head since 1982. So my cousin is an engineer, Grammy nominated. You definitely, my man, his name is Stauffer. He's the engineer you want to work with if you come to the A. I can get you the studio right around the corner. But he works at every studio, Patchwork, any studio in Atlanta, he's in there. So I was like, cuz, let me get this beat out of my head. He was like, what is it? I was like, and so he took the beat and made me pull it apart, recorded it, and then just did some magic to it. And it was like, the instrumental was crazy. And then I was like, yeah, that's it. And so then he just was on YouTube and what's her name? Abraham Hicks came on and it was playing at the same time the track was playing. And I was like, nah, I said, if anybody gonna get on this, we're gonna put Baba Kilindi on it. So we went to the joint called Organics, Alita, Artificial Intelligence Meets Organic Singularity, one of the podcasts he did with us. And we pulled down 8 minutes out of 3 hours and put it on top of that. And then he synced it.
Fire.
You must listen to that. I sent the track with Baba on it, but then I sent the track butt naked. And I'm giving you permission to damn lose your consciousness on that track.
Is it there right now? Can you play it?
Oh, you must say. You ever heard the term "say less"? Swear.
Hey.
Say less. Hold on. Can I get to it? Boop. Press 1. Press 2. Press 3. All right. Okay. Press that.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Wait. Let Baba go first.
So now they're trying to put together technology where they give you just like anesthesia, where they keep your DMT level in your brain at a constant level so that you can have the experience longer. But DMT doesn't, pure smoke DMT doesn't have the information in it that mushrooms have in it. Mushrooms have extra-dimensional knowledge and information in it. It's been through wormholes. It's traveled through space. It's landed on exotic planets with other things. And when you take the mushroom takes you. Meaning that all of the information that it has gathered, traveling through solar systems and different dimensions, different universes for trillions and trillions of years, because the true ancestors created this as a mnemonic device, a memory device, so that it can download into your DNA and open and manipulate your DNA to be able to travel and experience the things that this mushroom, of which is a organic artificial intelligence within itself, can liberate those codes inside of your DNA for you to be able to experience these things, to be able to draw out the higher self from the human. The human is only it's a bridge, it ain't the goal. Like I'm an earthling. My ancestors come from St. Louis, Missouri. My ancestors come from Ghana and Gambia. But what was they before Gambia and Ghana? What were they before St. Louis? What were they before the stars were built? Because you're older than the stars. We come from stardust. Of course, atoms. The physical body is made out of atoms. But we take it a step further. Atoms ain't home. Because atoms have to be created by a relationship with consciousness. What was it before consciousness created atoms? We come from magic. We come from not being created.
Back up. Say it again, Bob.
With consciousness. What was it before consciousness created atoms? We come from magic. We come from not being created.
Woo!
There was no creation. The creation are the artificial constructs. Even if you go into your creation, you made a game that you went in to play. Okay, I'll take 75 or 80 years, which ain't nothing. but it ain't even a night's rest. I looked at we were talking about the week about 13-4. I haven't watched 13-4, but the 13-4 was a great movie. Even if they left it to one embedment in the simulation, because the ones that when they came out of it, at the end of the movie, when they came out of it, when they took the doggone headset off, that wasn't reality either, because it's embedded in millions and millions and billions of different simulations embedded in simulations. Ain't none of it face real reality. You thinking you're one thing every time you shut everything off and supposedly die or whatever, you close your eyes on one side of the room and open your eyes up on another side of the room at a higher level. Ain't nothing lost. Everything's happening at the same time. But we can't deal with this artificial intelligence if we don't start dealing with our consciousness on a higher level. And mushrooms have that. Nothing wrong with ayahuasca.
Okay, here it comes. I'm about to give him this next 45 seconds, and I'm gonna go to the instrumental, and then you can kill it.
I'm not saying anything wrong with ayahuasca or the ayahuasqueros. I'm saying that most people are getting tricked into tourist entheogens. And people are so scary in the midst of this thing. You can't be timid.
You can't be timid.
You can't walk down the middle of the road. You either got to be hot or cold. You can't be lukewarm. You got to challenge this thing. You got to push yourself. You got to scratch and claw for the power. Scratch and claw for the knowledge. You can't just sit here because you went to doggone the University of Chicago, think that you're a master or something. Or if you just make something up, you think you're a master or something. You got to go and see what these ancestors were doing. Real time, face to face, mouth to ear. You can't do what they're doing because they ain't doing what they're doing. You don't know what these folks are doing, and folks are scared to go see.
So, what he said? He said, "Oh, let me turn it up." That's the instrumental.
Oh, that's an instrumental.
It's not coincidental. It's sentimental. Body man. Body man. And the O ye son, the only one. 2 hands hold 3 guns. I hold the sun. From the jungle where Mowgli's from. They told me come, look. Every coat we swung. Look, from the stolen drum. Look, every time I rap, when the beat pauses, won't let me hear. I can't rap and hear the beat at the same time. It mutes the beat every time I speak.
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. It's gonna be in your email. It's gonna be Phoenix got it. Just tell them to text it to you. That's all you gotta do. It's already close. It's less than 10 digits away from you. He probably texting it to you right now.
Text it and I'm gonna flex it. Resurrected. Where the revenant was wrestling. Make your head spin. You know, that's what we're doing. These are texts, but in weapon form, storm. Since the day I was born. Conception. Spiritual porn. Lyrical corn. I'm the colonel, the general too. You know, hypothetical stew.
Woo, woo.
The beef and the carrots. 300 merits. I see its appearance before it is ever even tangibly holding. The man isn't roten, I'm written, I'm bitten, like the forbidden fruit is. You know, the students, the teacher that teaches the students, I teach him the rocket to nebula. You know, the nerd with the pocket protector and the pocket protecting you. You know, Andromeda's nebula. I'm not really secular, but Bada is ahead of you, you know. This kid from New Haven. the crows and the ravens. Moses was raving. He was on them shrooms too. You know what happens when you trip when the moon's blue? You know what happens to the goons too? From the womb to the tomb too? How bada bam bada boom do. Then your mental shift into mathematics like Sudoku is too true. You know? Everything I do is true, is truth. I put it into you, the intuition in you wishing. You know, got the grip for gripping, the vices loosen. Explosives mooing, construing, consuming, zooming, shrooming, kabooming, big bang. Stephen Hawking, I'm the Hawk King when I'm talking, sparking. Look at the Flintstone that the thoughts bring. When the sword of the Lord swings, it takes off things, you know. The door of the Lord rings, all I hear is bells and sirens. You know, hell's full of melting tyrants. I can't help but eye squint when I stare at the sun, but no blinking. This is flow state, no thinking. What they say, good Lord, from Hua Perez? You know what I said. Because I say it because it's written. I chew it because it's bitten. You know, this is what happens when you grew a shroom from what you're shitting. What you say, substrate? I hate love and I love hate. I'm underweight plus weight. You know, this is how Hansel and Gretel's crumbs taste. Picking them up off of the trail. Off the scale. Just up over the bell. Why? Because I bond you. His word is bond. You know, this is what spawned from the depths of hell says. You know, this is it. Tammy Holloway. It's a holiday.
He doing names out here. Siobhan Standiford. Woo.
And the fur, you know. I got the mink and the fur from a human. Perry Dixon. This is clear addiction. You're going to hear it and swear it's written, but it's not. It's from where air is written. Risen, rising in the sixth region. You know about these angels and this demon. Inside me, you hear molested and raped kids screaming, asking for a voice that I realize. These are real lies. I know you remember that. The desert cat that can bring heaven back with the smack of a metal bat. I can act, then react. You know, these are fire and flames. This is the mind of a mage with the light of the sage. I ignited in rain. Acid, of course. Yeah, jackass and a horse. Asking for marriage is the same as asking for divorce. You're gonna end up back in the court. You know, proliferate. The kid is great. I take the love with the hate. I let it simmer bake. When I'm in this state, I can see the mind traffic switching lanes on the interstate. I let the income wait. I income coming in with the greats. How does victory taste? Like a victim's face. Always on the accelerating, smoking gas, never hit the brakes. Kobe beef, I just bit the steak. Come on, let's go. I could go forever.
Don't give them. They got enough already. Yeah, I done made a whole blood sacrifice over here. We was talking about the ancestors definitely wanted some blood today. I was trying to open a packet and just stab myself over here like a pig. But that's why I'm true to this, not new to this. I didn't say we're going to cancel because I'm bleeding profusely, but we are about to get off of here. You know what I'm saying, brother? It has been marvelous. It has been eye-opening. It has been my plum pleasing pleasure, as we say down here in the South. You know what I mean? to connect. You know what I'm saying? Again, this go round, this lap around. You know, if you can make it to Detroit, oh my God! What they say? When the something is in the house, oh my God. When the something is in the house, oh my God. That's that old hip hop. Something is in the house, oh my God. Right. But yeah, we're gonna do something like by the time you get down here to the A, I'm getting an in-house studio because I see what Sway is doing, I see what Joe Buttons is doing, I see what T.I. is doing, but what I see the easiest is what they ain't doing. And I also see what they can't do. And I see they can't tell our story because they haven't gone. What did Baba just say in the rhyme? You can't do what they doing because you ain't doing what they do, because you ain't doing what they was doing. And you want to be with the ancient ones and you want to keep hollering ancestors. The ancestors at the highest of the heights had the DMT. They was tapped into the DMT. And internal and external. To do anything halfway, when you're not tapping into like, I'm just going to tap in, just do the meditation. Well, how does it relate, you know what I'm saying, externally to your world? To like Noble Drew Ali said, uplift and fall in humanity. You got all these greats was producing all these works, and they wasn't releasing DMT from at some state coming down so they could spit it out their mouth through their throat chakra so you could manifest things. Because that's what manifest means, to inform. Manifest does not mean to bring out of thin air. Like, because there's nothing new under the sun. To manifest is to speak it. That's what we gotta upgrade our vocabulary. You know what I'm saying? Like, my mission is, we don't know what the word love is, we don't know what the word trust is, and we don't know what the word sex is. If I ask everybody what water is, they're gonna say H2O. I go all around the planet, everybody's gonna say water is H2O. But if you go around 4 people and ask them what love is, they're gonna give you 60 definitions.
Yeah. Same with God. There's a couple words that are undefinable.
No, love is not undefinable because Ra Ahmed did it. So I know I found somebody who did it. So love is to give, seeking nothing in return. God does. God gives you, seeking nothing in return. We are rebellious people down here. We don't want to follow. We have all these different rules that we could follow, and then we still choose to be an atheist. Well, I'm not gonna follow the Bible. I ain't gonna follow the Bhagavad Gita. I'm not gonna follow the Torah. Well, nigga, what you gonna follow? Oh no, I'm just gonna be lawless. No, the universe don't work like that. There's order in this thing that you call chaos. You know what I mean? And so there's a definition for love, meaning to be more like God. It's a verb. Love is a verb. That's why women say, show me you love me. You know what I mean? But we've been programmed to not even dive into that. There's no, like, water is explainable, love is explainable. But then you put too much romance on the word trust. I don't know if I can trust you. I tell people to trust what you show me. So I don't have to give Bam my debit card to know whether I can trust him. I already know I'm putting my money on him in a rap battle. That's what I can trust. It's a win-win. Well, oh, you got your people? All right, I got mine. You trust him? Bro, I'm putting three Bitcoins on this dude.
Yeah.
I'm putting 3 Bitcoins on this dude. Are you putting 3 Bitcoins on your person? We're coming to eat. You trust him like that? Did you hear LSD? Did you hear DMT? Did you hear when gods get guns? I ain't even heard about it. Did you hear these things? Absolutely. I got 4 Bitcoins. I got 4 Bitcoins on my man. What you doing? So we got to trust what people show us. We must love like God, you know what I'm saying, seeking nothing in return. We got all these conditions. That's conditional love. That's not unconditional love.
Conditionally is your condition.
It's your condition. You're been conned into this ditch. That's why you like that. You don't want to be unconditional. You don't want to open up the hand. I can do this all day too. That's what I'm saying. I'm gonna start calling you satellite. I got certain brothers. I got certain brothers that when I get with them, I just listen. Then when it's my turn, I just go. I just be like, damn, why are you talking so much? Because you an antenna.
Yeah. I like throwing them alley-oops, you know. Every
It looked like the dream team out here. It looked like Kobe, LeBron, and Dwayne Wade coming down hard, coming downhill.
Alley-oops coming from the rafters, dude.
Let them drain.
Won't you happen? Oh, and if it comes off the rim, it doesn't matter. We have Shaquille here. We have Hakeem Olajuwon. Like in the entheogenic community, man, that's what we're building. We're building our own Avengers. If you want to get on board, man, you're going to have to choose a weapon. You know what I'm saying? I like mushrooms. I don't mind LSD, but my introduction to it was kind of crazy. I was in the middle of the desert. I know you're familiar with Nick Sands. If you do mess with LSD.
Yeah, of course.
I had never done LSD before, and I started with Nick Sands' last batch before he passed. And they gave me six drops, which was equivalent to 6 tabs in the middle of the desert in Mexico.
I hope you have plenty of water. Obviously, you're still here.
Oh, nobody told me that rule. No, I did not. I did not have any water. It was rough. It was a rough night. I don't really want to get into it. It was a rough 12 hours. I'll say that.
I've never done that much. I've taken some very powerful acid. I've done a lot, but not to that level. That's extreme. I think I might have a heart attack. I've had some very traumatic panic. I've had some bad panic attacks on LSD where I could see inside I could see my skin cells and my pores actually breathing, and then my heart rate gets and then I start changing, and it's like a werewolf. I feel like my eyes are completely dilated and black. Yeah, LSD. I had a panic attack in Central Park that was epic at like 3 a.m. and it was just. I've had some life-changing panic attacks on, and I relate them to panic attacks because I think when you have a panic is when you really crack your egg, and I've had my fair share of. I mean, I was in Joshua Tree Desert, and I started realizing some things, and it just made me panic, and I had to keep music close to you. There's been times I was saved by music. Music can ground you. It's the perfect way to get back. I listened to a Michael Jackson song, and I came right back to her. Cambatta, you got to get King Los in a battle amidst an intelligent audience. I'm about to listen to your music. Man, I love the battle. There's some itching in me for that. And King Los is an incredible rapper. He's a beyond genius. He's a whiz kid. He's dope as fuck. My only issue is that the performance aspect of it, I haven't practiced. So to get in there with somebody that's seasoned, it almost doesn't matter how good you write if you don't have that, I guess, that angst to get on the stage and, let somebody,
Yeah, and you keep your hands in your pocket. Me, I couldn't battle rap. I don't give a damn how nice my pen is. Like, it's not happening, and I got to stand there and take 3 of these. No, I'm sorry. I'm
voluntarily, like, I would have to get paid a nice amount of money. Yeah, I'll battle whoever, but it has to be enough money for me to go, okay, well, this is good. I can this is worth me taking my complete life and dedicating it to mastering something I haven't done enough to at least cause an effect and be memorable if I don't win.
Or you could hedge the bet and say we both have to take 2 grams of mushrooms before.
Oh my God. I would battle. Honestly, I'm so sensitive to that stuff, man. Like,
no.
The second phase?
No, I'm saying if he has never done and he takes 2 grams and you take 2 grams, it's gonna even that thing out. It's gonna even that thing out. He's not gonna be as, you know what I'm saying, his stuff ain't gonna be as volatile, you know what I'm saying, like coming at your head like that. That's another thing too about the toad. I was telling somebody yesterday, you don't want to commit suicide no more. You don't want to do harm to people anymore. You know what I'm saying? Like, Cam got some crazy ass lines, but I don't hear that he wants to hurt someone. Like, because I'm played out with the gun clapping lines right now.
Yeah,
I can't handle it. I can't take it anymore. And if I was going to, I would just go back into the archive and just get me some gun clapping from some gun clappers. Because I'm not sure if you guys out here, you young dudes 25 and below, y'all talking a lot of big talk. but you ain't talking about no grams. You talking about some grams, that's how you gonna get my attention. I know y'all looking at me like, oh hell, let the new young dudes do it the way they want to. It's okay, but I'm telling you, 20 years from now, you're gonna be looking for this particular YouTube video right here. Right here. This is history we're making right now. This is what Anthony Browder talked about in Now Valley Contribution to Civilization, when he was like, all history is relevant history. What happened 5 minutes ago, 5 years ago, and 500 years ago determines what happens 5 minutes from now, 5 years from now, and 500 years from now. So we're creating our own history. I knew this was an experiment. When I got on here with you, what I say? I was like, yo, we can do something crazy.
Yeah.
And it's going to affect the people who have been courageous enough. But some of y'all are still on here. And I just want to say big ups to y'all, because, you know what I'm saying, like, y'all are courageous enough to hang out with, you know what I'm saying, two brothers from another mother. And we definitely appreciate it. We want all of y'all to go over. The one thing I do want, I got to ask for the people in the back. I should have asked about this when I first got on here. If everybody could just, when they go over to the KI network, really the big thing is just, let me get your name, phone number, and email. If you can't make it, the least you should do is come over here and put your name, email, and phone number, so I can send you text with the goody. But if I ain't got your math, like, this is how we stay connected. We stay connected by saying, yo, I'm gonna get my phone number to the Kilindi EE network. Let me tell Cam how this name came about. So Kilindi was always talking about artificial intelligence.
Yeah.
So when he crossed over, I was like, we got the realest of the real. We got Kilindi intelligence. It's real intelligence. It's proven. It's battle tested on every level. So that's why we call it the KI network. And it's funny because every time I type it, it's KIN. It's kinfolk.
Yeah.
It's the KI network, but it's the kinfolk. It's kin, and then it's ET work. It's kinfolk doing extraterrestrial work.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. So kin, you know what I mean? And but it's not just because we skin, because our skin don't make you kin. We kin because of the work that we're doing, because of the tools and the jewels we done dropped for y'all this evening. Like, where's your courage? You know what I'm saying? Where's your passion? That's the only way you're gonna break the threshold. Because the mushrooms ain't gonna plead with you, and they will hold back if you come in there without integrity.
Yeah, exactly.
And the bad trip is because you caused it. You were being at some point.
I also explain it like, if you've seen Indiana Jones, anytime he goes into the tombs to find a treasure, there's always some kind of traps to kind of ward the any poachers or tomb raiders away. And with the mushrooms or any like real entheogens, it kind of, I guess, filters out the weaklings by presenting you with yourself. And if you can't get past the ego of self and your guilt and things that you hold on the surface level, you won't get to see the magical Garden of Eden that lies beyond. You won't be able to. So it's not for the faint of hearts. And I would say a very small percentage of those who even get into psychedelics will ever achieve those magical states. And it's because you have to do the work both beforehand and after. And you have to go make sure that you go into this in an open manner and you're really ready for it. Because if you're not, it's not even going to cross your path. I mean, you watching this is step one, or it could be step 9. Who knows? But it's a life work. You never get used to it. Nobody's a professional. When faced with the glory of God and this, Mother Earth, it's you realize real quick that you become humble. Mike Tyson said, "You're not born to be humble. You're born to be humbled." And sometimes it's not a man that can do it. Your pride will get in the way of, being a congregation member when you know more than the priest. But when you step outside and you are underneath the thumb of God's glory, you can't deny that. You will be, you know, decimated to less than a molecule in seconds. So that forces you to become a child, and then you just allow it to happen, and you don't force it. You don't try to bring back artifacts to get rich. A lot of people go and they're like, oh, I want to go because I want to get rhymes. I want to rap like Cambatta, or I want to be able to paint. You know, you're going for selfishness reasons, and that gate is going to be stronger. Not that you can't go over it. I mean, there's people like Aleister Crowley that were doing magic, but he was willing to sacrifice. A lot of those demonic people, as evil as their intentions may have seemed, they were willing to take them steps fearlessly, and they got results. So you know, this is not no games. This is not smoking weed. This is not cool. This is not to be recorded. This is not to be, you know, just to wear some on your chest to be cool. I want to see fancy colors. You know, this is it. In my opinion, psychedelics should be the only thing being talked about. It's the only real sustainable food. It's the only food that has true instant gratification. I mean, you can eat an apple, you know, you got to keep eating them. You know, you eat 5 grams of shrooms, you might be good for a lifetime, you know. So we're talking about the food of the gods. But that's where I got to leave it. I actually got to get to dinner, man. My brain is definitely floating away here. I'm going to be babbling soon.
Oh, nah. Hey, look, I ain't ate either. But I can tell you can go, though. Your engines is running. But now I done ran you to smoke about 3 good ones. You straight right now.
All right, dude.
Like I said, man, it was my
dude, and I was just,
say that again.
No, I was just saying, like, I just woke up between you and us. I was just on some LSD. I did a microdose last night. And so, yeah, you know what sleep is like after that. You know, it's so basically I'm in those regions. I'm in the twilight region where you start, you know.
You know, well, some people got different definitions of micro, because like that's what I would tell. So Kilindi was like, yeah, 2 grams is micro. I was like, Kilindi, that's a dose, my G. You know what I'm saying? That's heavy. You know what I mean? So when you know, for you, what's a micro dose for you?
I mean, it's hard to measure with acid because you're getting
acid. Oh, you was on the acid. Oh, okay.
Yeah, with mushrooms, I don't really play around with microdosing unless it's a small enough dose to not feel the effects. Because the thing about mushrooms, if you haven't done it for like the first hour and a half or up to an hour, you're getting the yawns. You might feel sluggish. You might feel it working through your central nervous system. You might be in the bed like, oh, you know, I'll be moaning. I need my space. Like, it's kind of awkward until you get to the point where because it's working your body to work at a certain stable frequency. It's literally changing your radio tuner. So you got to go through the cocooning process to butterfly out. And you know, so with mushrooms, I noticed that sometimes on the light doses, you get that without getting the cool stuff or the real lesson. So I usually don't do less than 2 grams because with 2 grams, I've done certain mushroom dosages with 2 grams. And every psilocybin is different, where it's just, you can then start experimenting. You could do sun gazing on it. You could then work out. Go for a long run on mushrooms. It actually doubles your performance. It's a performance enhancer. You go lift weights on mushrooms, you're 3 times as strong because you have more control over your brain. So yeah, like in those lower doses, you can then explore more practical activities and kind of view them through the shroom lens, because that's kind of what you want to do. Like one of the things that's kind of, I guess, causes a recidivism for us, and the reason why we still do it, is because when you come back from such a mind-blowing experience, you're like, oh my goodness, like there was so much more. If I go back and I can perfect my situation in another setting, under another moon in another, earth chakra with another group of people, it'll be this, so you just got to be careful with that too. Because I've noticed this too. The ancestors will stop answering the door if you're knocking too much.
Oh boy.
Actually, they're like, oh, you keep coming back and we keep telling you the same shit. This is what you got to do. You know it. You got to correct your ear. It's simple shit. It's whoever coded this reality wrote it in a way that grandma in a rocking chair that's never tripped, all she did was go to church and eat, bacon and smoke her cigarette. She can make it, and the the Kilindis can make it too. And essentially, it's about letting go and letting God, and not forcing it, and just not really paying attention to the constructs of life. You don't look at a calendar; you might live to your 150. So you don't. Again, this isn't for everything. There's one minister, there's one priest, there's one prophet, and there's 12 disciples. There's a congregation. Sometimes that priest, that minister is there to help you in your translation, to kind of aid you, because they might have the gift of poetry, the gift of translation. Essentially, that's a shaman or a witch doctor or a doc. Essentially, they were all the same thing at one time. So that's all I got to say about that. But yeah, man, Cambatta, again, Cambatta music, LSD is everywhere, iTunes, Spotify, etc. Please support. I'm doing this, on a shoestring budget, completely independently. I don't have a Lamborghini.
What's your cash? What's your cash app?
It's $ Cameron Carbone, CAMERON.
Hold on. CAMERON.
Yep. And then Carbone spelled phonically CARBONE, which means carbon or black. So Cameron Carbone, which is, for whatever reason I chose that. Yeah, right there. Definitely. All donations are used immediately to further my research, and I guess, help me live and sustain vitality so I can continue to do the work of God, man.
We want to,
however you define it.
Now we want to, I want to seed into you because my cup runneth over. I want to seed into you because your time, I see that your time is valuable. I want to seed into you because you gave seeking nothing in return, to us, not just me, but everybody listening. I want to seed into you because it's only right. I want to seed into you because I got it. I want to seed into you because my money circulates and I can't let my money just sit around. So I tell my money to go out and bless and help somebody else and then return to me with friends. So this is just for me a good way for me to assign some of my currency, some of my energy, because you gave tons of, freestyle, quoted old bars, taught class, warned people of set and setting. Like I can take this whole thing and make an ebook and sell it for $13.99. I can sell it for $49.99 actually, to tell you the truth, when I do this type of thing. Because that's really all I'm doing when I'm interviewing. I'm getting a book out of somebody. So just like I knew Bob. I heard Bob laughing when I was like, I got Cambatta. And he was like, do him like you do me. That's how I was like, oh, that's what you want. He was like, do him like you do me. That means show respect, ask him questions, and let him go in and don't interrupt. I can't stand doing an interview with somebody interrupting. Man, just getting started right here. He can't smoke. He can't live so he can damn channel. We want the channel over here where I'm at. Like the people who watch me, they rock with astrology, mysticism, occult, consciousness, enlightenment, money, sex, and tantra, and relationships. That's my, you know what I'm saying? So when you come down and start channeling, we already got a landing pad to catch you like Jerry Rice. We out here like this is a whole to Jerry Rice's, and we just want Cam to just be like, go further. I got it, and that's what I'm bringing on here. Like I'm just the center. I'm snapping the shotgun. He just going back 3 steps, slinging that thing like the old Michael Vick or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So, brother, I definitely appreciate you. But honestly, for about 30 minutes, I've been ready to tie it up because I need to go hear Michael Jackson. I need to go hear Michael Jackson, my food, and listen to it twice. I gotta go back to that Gods and Guns that was playing right before. I like that.
There's so much, man. That album's gonna feed you. Grand Number Theorem. Yeah, there's a lot, man. I got some stuff, man. Some, I'm trying. I'm not even trying, man. I'm just preparing myself, and I'm being just thankful, and I know I'm blessed and lucky, man.
So in martial arts, there's two terms I'm gonna leave with you. This time I'm going for real. So one is called Wu Chi, and Wu Chi is the void. It's like when you just totally relax right before the thing happens. Everything comes out of relaxation. That's Wu Chi. So Martin said Wu Sa. There is no ancient word Wu Sa. That's like them bastardizing Wu Chi. It means just go all the way into the void. You know what I'm saying? The emptiness. That's Wu Chi. But what you just described is what we call Wu Wei. Next word is W-E-I. Wu Wei is effortless effort produces excellence.
I love that.
Effortless effort produces excellence. So saying, I'm just relaxing. That's what we want. We want the flow. We don't want it to be forced.
Yes.
But as they say, God don't offer confusion. So if it's flowing, then you're practicing Wu Wei. Today has been a total exercise of Wu Wei. The only thing you had was nuggets and blunts. You didn't go get the book. You was like, hold on, I gotta go do it. You looked up one thing and you still had it right. You didn't have to go do that. You was like, I told you it was K-E-K.
Yeah.
So, and
to verify to the people, sometimes when you're referencing in your cabinets and it's so transparent in your mind, it's just like, okay, am I right?
Oh, look, now somebody that told me I got to go check out track number 33. What the hell? What's track 33? Like, you got something with 33 tracks on it? What the hell is this?
That's the Christ template. That's me going through my entire life. I guess it's a hyperbolic alternative life, essentially. And basically, it's a template to say that all men are Christ. And I die at 33.
The man said, if your track's hot, I owe you $10. Well, go ahead and pay the man then. Go ahead and send that over there to him. Go ahead.
Nothing, brother. This is your. I'm just telling you your story. Thank you, brother. I appreciate you, Charles.
Oh no, we ain't gonna Umar Johnson. I don't do Umar Johnson. Umar Johnson can't come on my channel. Like that. Umar Johnson. I got Cam, Baba Kilindi, my crew. I'm good. You go stack your crew up though, but I'm sure y'all don't want to smoke. I'm absolutely certain. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're not operating like that. So yeah. And thank y'all for those of you who had it. You know what I'm saying? Like, let me get that down. I need to write it down.
Serving myself, I'm protecting myself, and I'm gonna keep streaming, and I'm trying to do what the ones before me couldn't, and for our kids and our kids that when they listen to it, it instantly enhances their minds and their intellects. Makes them human beyond me.
I call the type of music that you make cartoons. T-U-N-E-S. Cartoons. This is for when you got your 3-year-old in the back seat and you taking them to the daycare to drop them off. You drop these, whatever the distance is, you make it a Cambatta ride. So when you dropping your child off, it's already in his DNA. Don't worry about his conscious mind. His subconscious and unconscious mind is steeped. Like me, I am a product of KRS-One. I'm steeped in that. If I don't know all the words, it doesn't matter. It's in my DNA. It's mixed with some Rakim, lots of Public Enemy, a lot of NWA.
Yeah, he was there. He was there for a lot of my child. You must learn. And then Love's Gonna Get You. Love's Gonna Get You. Well, my favorite was Step Into what? From number 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Yo.
That joint right there. And he kept true to the freestyle. Fire. Christ won. That's what his name really signifies.
I'm gonna give you. Dang, I keep giving last idea. This is one flash for real. I told somebody else this. Nobody's done this yet, and they may be afraid. Redo poetry. Make the 2020 version of poetry. You're gonna have to put it on SoundCloud, but they ain't gonna let you just release it. But like that beat, that poetry, what KRS did, like no one has ever stepped onto that and like answered that. Not like going against him, but what's the 2020 version of poetry? And so for those of you young, some of you young heads who have not been into the vaults that we're taking you into the crypts today, you go pull up poetry by KRS and press play. Just press play on that and just go back and forth between that and Cambatta. You have a full excursion today. That's our jewels for you. Respect. I don't know who Charles is, but respect. Yeah. Man, we thank y'all for coming on today. Appreciate it.
Thank you, brother.
Easily top 5 right now. That's what I said early. As of right now, there's some other group called, I think Brooklyn something. They're talking about mushrooms and entheogens. Like, I don't want to hear it at this point. If you ain't talking about real live sorcery, I'm good.
Yeah.
Niggas better be glad I don't know how to pick up no pen. They better be glad my pen game is weak.
I bet, man. You got bars and conversation. But yeah, man, thank you too, man. Thank you. We're gonna do this again. Obviously, let's talk about this conference, and let's definitely figure out how we can make something happen for sure. And I thank everybody that tuned in. Again, Cambatta, thank you for your donations and your time. And thank you, brother.
Absolutely. Peace to the king. Y'all see blood this evening. Make sure y'all share this on y'all social media platforms. Send this to a friend. Peace.